Finally exhausted.
There's something to be said for that.
Worked yourself into a state of reasonable exhaustion. Okay, we are
Yeah.
live. OTNG, Season 2, Episode 9. Tonight we have Ethan, Nils, Peter. When we last left our heroes, they had descended into the cellar beneath the cellar.
Oh,
Destroyed mansion.
Cellarception.
At the destroyed manse of the Burt family. And there had been an encounter with some guild agents, with some winged creatures, some diminutive winged creatures, batlings. I think we settled on.
I think we got land bats because they hopped about, but they're fucking like piranha.
And
We called them batlings because they were like
batlings. That was it.
Batlings.
That was it. Batlings was a much better name.
And you had explored. You had found a. You had last explored a chamber of filth and debauchery. You peered down a long hall extending before you to the south to see a large, hulking brute of a man dragging his finger through a pool of blood and smashed bone. And he looks up at you down the hall, squinting into your blinding lantern. Or is that lantern still with us?
Oh yeah, still shining sunlight, baby.
And Nils, which character are you bringing with you tonight?
Well, originally Gideon would go because that would certainly be his kind of banishing the evil thing. But if I don't bring
Boobies
8008-135, would we still have the lantern?
That's a good question.
I mean, if you can give me a rationale about why you would and where 808 has gone off to, then I don't see any problem with that.
Could he be guarding our retreat out of here?
He could be. Well, that's right. The other guys ran off further into the guild members ran off somewhere, so it's not like he's escorting them back. I don't know. Help me out, guys.
Well, I do think there's a good rationale because there are things behind us, and you can hold perfectly still and see without a light at all. That you could be either bring our tail so we're not being followed, and make sure we have a clear retreat, or you're part of our peripheral, make sure we're not getting flanked. So that's where he steps out. That always seems a logical explanation to me, especially when you're traveling from place to place. But in a dungeon, in this case, boobies, like I said, he can hold perfectly still, and if there's undead, they might move past him, and he can observe and maybe, warn us or whatever. Just a thought.
Sure, what he said.
No reason for him to fall through the floor or disappear into a warp gate.
So you're going to send 808 back to the landing there with the big demon mosaic in the floor.
Yeah.
To kind of watch the exit or watch the entrance to this place.
Yeah, or kind of hide out so he's not being targeted by something, but to make sure that we have a way out and we're not going to get trapped in here. Okay. Or if something is coming down, he can come warn us.
And the other thing is, if I remember, there were shamblers coming up the hill as we went in. So
yes,
he's also keeping prepared to keep them at bay if they try to come in.
Right. Alrighty. Well, that sounds workable. So I think what I hear is Morgan, Gideon, and
Ichabod.
And Gideon's carrying the sun lantern, the lantern.
Yep.
Of the sun. And you've also have a normal lantern that's being carried by one of the one of the watchmen, one of
the brothers, I guess.
one of the men at arms.
Aren't they all part of the same? Are they part of an order?
Yeah, they're kind of like, they're sort of like old god zealots.
Mhm.
And Rodolfo is clearly the worst of them.
We're trying to keep them alive, but we're also trying to keep an eye on them. I'm not buying into it.
Okay.
Especially considering how quickly Rodolfo's like, oh yeah, we got to go somewhere else. Like, no, dude, calm the fuck down.
All right, let's see. Let me get my RPG references.
Besides, I'm not dying for his cause. I got plenty of my own.
Been there, done that. Oh. Okay, I need to make a couple of rolls.
Hey, I think it's raining out there.
Yeah, it's raining here.
It's a freaking monsoon level. Whoosh.
Mhm.
It's about 45-degree angle out there right now.
Let's see. So let's get a token on the map for this guy, and we're gonna theater of mind it unless you guys want something different.
That's fine.
And
My mind is always a theater.
Yeah, mine is too, but somebody yelled fire and everybody ran for it, and it's just a chaotic mess.
Yeah, well,
That was the adventure. We ran down the hallway, and every one of us fell into traps.
the pits.
That's right.
Oh,
Doop,
so
doop, doop,
bad.
like 3 in a row. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
It was like 2 staggered on either end of the hall. And
I know.
you guys were chasing him, and it went into the next one, and he got out of that and ran down the other. We'll go on the other side.
Wonk. It was cliche, but entertaining. I remember that.
Yeah, it was, but it was such a great adventure.
It was, but a really good group.
The first AD&D 1E adventure published in White Dwarf, many moons ago. So that was, for me, that was fun.
I agree.
And I'm sure I could improve on it today. Though I think the most fun I had was the magic mouths at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
To the pool. That was super fun.
That was really cool.
Alrighty.
One last distraction before I forget, thanks to your inspiration, Aaron. I spent my wow, Ethan, you got explosions going on. I spent my Amazon gift card and picked up the Art of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, you did? Did you get the special slipcase edition?
Yes, I did, because it's got all
arrive?
that cool stuff. It just arrived today.
Oh my god, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
I haven't taken it out of the shrink wrap yet because it's still new this way. So I'll probably open it the next day or two and treat myself. But yes, it is just stunning.
When you can really sit down with it.
Exactly, and give it some time. So
I mean, it does a very good job of going through all the eras. And once it gets up to about second, I was like, oh, that's fine, I'm done. But it's like 200 pages in or something. So
exactly, but it's still a lot of beautiful artwork. I bet
it's gorgeous. And I'm sure there's even some later edition stuff that's good, but it just kind of gets goofy, like big shoulder pads.
Yeah. That was my thing too. I'm like, I'm done with this.
What's a screaming?
Yeah, if you're gonna, I'm gonna go Conan. That's where I'm gonna want to go.
yeah, the only thing about 5e that I enjoy is the sorcerer class because of how cool of a concept it is. But aside from that, which is where his magic is just wild. So anytime he casts a spell, something different happens.
Interesting. Yeah, there's nothing There's no there there.
Though I will say again, I'm really enjoying this system.
The Demon
Me
Lords.
too.
Yes, very much.
All right, so this brute that's sort of halfway down the hall. The lantern pans over him, and he just looks up and he goes, "Grrr!" and he comes thumping down the hall, dragging one big meaty fist behind him.
Oh man, he does not look friendly.
Right. Let's see, I
It's the
guess we
meaty
need-
ham fist that most bothers me.
That's the hand fist. Let's see, that's deleted.
All right. What spells do I still have in my repertoire?
So we're using the. Oops, we're using the Will's token. Sorry, I think I did
Mm-hmm.
stupid grid.
It was like the party token.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I think that's
no,
what we
not that is party token. That Will's token is the party token. But what I mean to say is the one that's on the initiative tracker. That's for Rudolfo and his band of merry miscreants.
I think of them as the geezers, but
That's not a bad way to think about them.
even though they're probably not much older than I when they came in this place.
I say, well, now they are. Now they're much older.
Let's see, so I see Ichabod up here. I see, we don't need 808. I'm put 808 on the map where he's hiding out.
Okay.
Oh, Morgan's up.
I see Opie. We don't really need Opie, right? Oh no, Opie was Rudolfo, and then the Will is the
men at arms.
Gideon. I guess we need Morgan. That's the last one we need.
Yes.
Yep. Having the spellcaster is helpful.
Damn
Maybe.
straight. Especially when one of those spells is healing.
Okay, guys,
Yep.
why don't you go ahead and drop your initiative markers. Yeah.
I will go slow.
How far away is he?
He is.
That far. Okay.
He's at least a move away.
Okay.
He's
I
2
am-
moves away from you right now.
I will go slow then.
I'm going to go slow because I'm going to go fast because I have a bow.
Well, you can still go slow and
Ooh, I will go
shoot
slow
before-
yes.
and act before he does. So,
Very good. I will do that because that gives me the action of changing my weapon as he approaches.
Right. What is this thing?
Anybody bring a ballista? Add that to the list. Next time, bring a ballista.
I thought about it, and then, well,
He's like, am I really going to need this? You always bring it, and then you don't use it.
mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
All right, well, that spell isn't going to do anything down here.
Then don't cast it.
But the other one will, so we'll do that. I have multiple defensive spells, and one is much more efficient when I cast it and I'm in a forest,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't do anything when I'm not in some sort of forested area.
Most unfortunate.
Yep. That's why I have the other one.
All right. I think it is your initiative, gentlemen. What will you do? It seems like everybody's going slow.
I think you're right.
We're still warming up.
Yes. We want to make sure we're not walking into a trap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for a skull I just dropped on the floor.
Poor Yorick.
Alas, I knew him, Horatio.
Well, Morgan is going to cast the spell Arcane Armor on herself.
Excellent idea.
What it does is a field of force springs into existence around me, and it gives me a +2 to my defense for 4 hours.
Nice.
Yep. Normal precipitation doesn't touch me. Light wind does not affect me, and I'm not discomforted by cold or heat.
Oh, cool. Multiple uses.
And that bumps your defense by how much?
2.
And no spell check or anything like that. Just
Nope, because I'm casting it on myself.
Okay.
Yep.
And what else do I need to ask you about this spell? I think that's everything.
It's like the Star Trek animated series, Force Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gosh, that was so good, that animated series. I should probably watch
You can stream it on Netflix.
Yeah, you can see that there's almost like a little purplish glow that kind of like is surrounding Morgan's figure. Maybe a millimeter or 2 off her skin.
it. Great. Let's see.
I was just reading about that series. Apparently, Nimoy insisted that he would not do the series if Doohan and Nichols were not also hired, because he knew that everyone was having problems after the getting jobs after the show.
Yeah. Interesting. Good for him.
Cool.
Yeah.
We love you, Spock.
And Gideon will be casting the, I guess it's a good enough time as any, the God Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Smite and Might in his pocket spell.
Okay, and what is, and I think that creates a token or like a hammer that you get to move about. You want a token on the map to remind you, or will you remember?
Well, right now I'm only going to be using it against one thing, so I don't think it matters much.
But you can
It's
throw
not
it,
like
right?
Well, no, it is created at any point within a medium range, and then I can move it up to 10 yards.
That's it. That's it.
Right. So it's I can move it around, but I'm not moving it to anywhere any farther than hitting that one thing, that one guy right now.
So does your God Hammer have a name?
It's called God Hammer. What do you mean?
It's called
It's
Dumpy.
yeah. No, the spell is called God Hammer. It's described as a glowing.
You're gonna have to name it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is you got to name your God Hammer.
Okay. Well, that's part of my.
Everybody's doing it. And Ichabod's spell is already going.
Right. The
Ensorcelled weapon.
right, and that lasts for many hours.
4 hours.
Okay, so you're probably 2 hours into it, because I think you cast it when you first descended into the tunnels beneath the barricade, right?
I cast it when we came upon Rodolfo and his men and those black things, and as soon as we saw those black shadows and it sucked the life out, I went, I'm casting my spell.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
you cast that, and then I cast my
so
light spell.
It's been about an hour since that. Well, it's still been about 2 hours, so you're about halfway through it. I just want to give you, because remember, you rescued them, you went up, you talked about stuff, you came back.
We've been moving around, doing things. Sure. Like, whatever your call is on the time, I'll go with it. How's that?
Sure. But it's still effective, is I think the key point.
Absolutely. But I'm thinking, if I live through this, I'm thinking another level 0 spell might be a lot of fun. That's when you can shoot little tiny firebolts.
That's one of the things that I enjoy about playing or taking the Magician, is that every time I pick a tradition, I don't just get 1 level 0, I get 2 level 0 spells.
Very nice. Very nice. Because those are fun. I like them.
Mm-hmm. Because I can use them more than once.
Okay. Is anybody else shooting besides myself?
You're up.
I guess. Well, that's true, because I can cast this as one action, and then my moving is a triggered action, so I can do it for free effectively.
So you want to send it down the hallway to kind of intercept this thing? Is that your plan?
I want to more than just intercept. I want to smack it in the head with it.
Smack it.
It's 2 moves away.
Right. Then how much is a move?
30.
Basically,
30
yeah, you're
feet.
throwing it. You're basically throwing it, and it's going to meet part way because they're heading towards each other.
Yeah, I think it has. I'm going to say it has one action a turn, Mills. So one action a turn, Gideon, so that you could move it or you could fight it. Does it say as a triggered action, or what is it? What is it to say?
You
Or do
can
you guys
use
have
a triggered
Do you
action.
guys have spell descriptions in your character sheet that you can just dump to the
Yep,
chat?
that's what I did.
I didn't see that in the chat.
I'm not quite sure. I do on my character sheet, but I can't get it out to.
You don't know how to throw it to the character.
Yeah, but it says you can use a triggered action on your turn to move the hammer up to 10 yards and attack one creature within 1 yard of it. So I can move 10, 30.
You can use a trigger. See, this is the problem, right? Sometimes I get lost in the description, but that's okay. So
I do too.
So what I heard was, as a triggered action, you can move it 30 feet, and then you can attack something that's within a yard of it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you can move it halfway down the hallway, and it's sort of suspended there between your band of adventurers and this this stomping brute.
Got it. Okay.
Hardy band. We're a hardy band.
Hammer stops midway, turns, shakes itself. No.
I ain't going any further.
Does a 13 penetrate his armor class?
It does. I'm sorry, Ichabod. That is a hit for 7 points.
Woo!
So and you just send an arrow down the hall, and it just kind of grazes him.
Oh. 7 points is not grazing me. He's big.
What are Rodolfo and his men-at-arms doing?
Right. Nils was doing Rodolfo. I was taking care of the men-at-arms.
Okay.
They're gathering around him to defend him, and they're staying behind us.
Okay.
What are Rodolfo's capabilities in this condition?
Well, he's a witch hunter. We can pull together for you a character sheet for him, but if there's something you want him to do, just let me know. And
use whatever kind of missile capability he has to.
We don't have any missile weapons.
Okay.
Right.
So
and only open that box in the most dire situation.
Right. Just prepare for melee.
Okay. Okay.
And hopefully not get in it. I just think we need him to complete the task where we got it complete.
Maybe. I mean, Morgan's not a huge fan of witch hunters, but
crap.
But she already bent him to her will once, so
excuse me. Where did ancient Greek archers carry their quivers? Were they on their back, or did they carry them on their hips?
Oh, they would only be peasants, right? So probably on their hips.
I was gonna say hips, I think.
I think you're right. So Nils, the second job this guy gave me, I was talking about before he came on, is I'm painting undead Greeks. It's just right up my alley, wouldn't you say? Yes. Too many notes.
Okay, in this, just as a quick aside for those spellcasters, you can, in your spell entry on your character sheet, you can just click the polyhedral button, and it will throw all the detail to the chat window.
Fantastic.
All right, so the brute comes stomping down the hall.
I didn't intimidate him.
No.
Sorry.
Let's see. And he's getting to be within that yard of the
faux hammer
of the god hammer. He stops and he looks at it. He's like, ooh. Okay, new turn. But he's still staying slow. He's now 1 move away from you, looking at the God Hammer.
I'm drawn my sword.
Yes, I'm going slow.
Okay, slow for Morgan.
Yeah, because I have a feeling he's not going to be as entertained by Murder Face the God Hammer. It just sounded like a Death Clock album name.
Murder Face is the name of one of the band members.
I know! Murder Face is my favorite one! Could be Nathan Explosion. But anyway, as soon as he's hit with that thing, he's not going to be quite as interested in it, and he's going to be mad at us again. I'm just guessing. And I'm also guessing we don't have another way to go beyond him.
Which phases do you guys want to go in?
Slow.
Okay. Gideon?
I'm looking up triggered action to remember exactly what that is. Triggered actions.
It's one that causes you to feel PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Your triggered actions are the one weird thing about this system, because each one's different in terms of when it activates.
Right. That's why it's triggered.
Yeah. Yeah. There's usually a condition associated with the trigger, like in the case of the God Hammer, an enemy being within a yard.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So.
Or
I will continue to go.
You can also move it, right? That's the other trigger is on your turn.
Right. And I guess what I was wondering was when, in relation to slow and fast actions, does a triggered action go? I guess it depends on the trigger, is what you were just going to say.
Well, no, in your case, the God Hammer, you can move it on your turn. So if you go fast, you can trigger it.
Got it. Okay.
In the fast turn.
Yeah. I will. And in what phase did he seem to go before?
He's in slow.
Okay. I will stay slow.
Yeah, because I'm going to take one more shot and then draw my weapon, because that's 2 actions, right? And I can do that in slow.
Yes.
Because even if he charges, I'll have my weapon out. Okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
Come on, Ichabod. I know you can do this. Aim for his eye. Yes!
I think you hit the eye.
Did I beat it by 5?
You did beat it by 5.
That I do another D6. Nice. So a total of 10. So if I didn't hit the eye, I got near it. Yeah, I got his goddamn attention.
Yeah, and you do. It like pierces his cheek. It looks. It sort of chomps up the arrow.
Oh crap, guys! I think he's pissed.
Okay, I'm playing with my spells. This is not a spell roll. I just need to
see how it works.
Well,
unless it's a hit, then it's all right.
Right. I'm not sure what I did, but it looks like I've got loads of. There we go. Okay, it's cleared out. It looks like my boon box was showing up. So I'm looking at my spell sheet, and if I have it in the nice display view, I don't have a dice button, or do I just click on that?
Just click on
that's it. Maybe
there should be a little die right next to whatever it is you're doing on your character sheet.
Got it. Yeah.
And that'll take all your boons and everything into account.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to now. This is my God Hammer roll.
Nice.
And let me quickly check something because I've got a couple of course, stacking abilities.
Yeah, I can see that, especially in a couple more levels, how there's going to be a lot of combining how you do things with your abilities.
Yeah.
Okay. So I also have an ability called Icon of Faith, which allows me that while I'm wearing a sorry, it was a hard day today. Wearing a holy symbol,
Mm-hmm.
I get a +1 boon.
Mm.
And that's just a basic thing. That's not for it's not a one-use thing. So here comes my roll. And oh crap. All right.
So you're drawing forth the holy symbol.
Yes.
And what is that holy symbol?
The
Your new gods.
it is it's basically the Ouroboros snake.
Oh,
The snake that eats its
yeah,
tail.
yeah. Very cool.
It's the new god description in that new god supplement actually goes in quite into details. It's kind of almost like a Joan of Arc story. But anyway, so I got an 8, which I'm guessing is probably not
enough.
Not enough, but
it is enough for the men at arms behind you to gasp in shock and horror. And Rudolfo spits. I knew there was I knew there was something weird about you, Gideon.
Now I thought that.
Yeah, he's the one they related to.
Right, because last time we had said that, or you had asked what it sounded like they were
new gods.
Yeah, and it sounded like they were new gods. They had been old gods that had realized that their stuff wasn't working, and they're now switching to the new gods.
No, they're old god zealots. And the question I was trying to ask you last session and probably did poorly about was, what taint of the new gods do they smell about you?
Ah.
What blaspheme do they recognize on your new god person?
Oh well, yeah, that would have been my holy symbol, at least to start off with.
He's naked from the waist down at all times.
Hey, honey, where's my pants?
We were just watching yesterday at lunch.
And the only reason why I don't cut you down now is you bear the holy light.
Uh-huh.
If things were different, I'd see you strung up.
Yeah,
There's
but they're
much
not.
agreement and
Well, I've broken his will once. I could break his will again if we need to.
Ichabod's making note.
All right, that was the God Hammer and the Sure Shot. What does the Flower Child have for us?
The Flower Child. The Flower Child casts her spell Magic Dart, which automatically hits the target, dealing 1d3 plus 1 damage.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically, she points her staff at the creature, and you see a large rose thorn just shoot out and hit him.
Cool. And when you do that on your character sheet, I'm just curious, Ethan, does it automatically deduct the casting for you? The casting slot?
That's an excellent question. Let me look. No, it does not. So I've been doing it manually.
Sure. I was just curious if it was that.
Yeah, no, I that was actually something that I wanted to check too. So
how much damage do you do?
I do 3 points of damage.
Every single hit helps.
Yep. The Flower Child sends her greetings.
All right.
And as my second action, I'm readying myself to
receive a charge.
Prove my worth to these unspeakable heretics behind us.
Yeah, my second action is basically just to make sure that I am behind Gideon and Ichabod, so I don't get hit by a charging creature.
I was thinking about being behind you because you got the +2.
That only brings my defense to 12. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, by the way, as sort of a role playing aspect to this, without Will around, Ichabod definitely takes on a very protective role with Morgan. So if something's happening, he will try to get between her and it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's why she calls you Uncle Icky.
That's it. Exactly.
I thought it was because of
No.
That may have been what it initially was, but we've grown past that.
That's it.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Name it what you want. It works. So.
Oh, I keep forgetting that I can do that. Ugh.
Cause Stockholm syndrome?
No, that I can augment my my spells to do more damage.
Ooh, remember that.
Yeah. Oh, but that's right. I only have the minimal version of it because I haven't hit level set 5 yet. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, well.
yeah,
But
we will.
I will. And I can cause my magical energy to explode from me.
Okay.
Fucking skeleton's head fell off.
Again?
Yeah, just because he's dead. Thinks he can lay around.
All right.
Job.
Probably laughing.
Guess it's my turn now. So this thing comes charging at you, and it's mostly in response to the stinging darts and the cruel arrow.
Mhm.
It's rapidly turned into a toothpick.
So it's going to
lost
ignore
all-
me.
It lost all interest in the hammer itself. It comes lumbering, charging into your little stalwart band. Rawr. And it kicks at, it lashes out with a kick, and then it's this huge meaty hand comes slamming down.
Ah, crap.
Well, this is why I took some steps back.
Mm-hmm. I'm just counting on him rolling really badly.
All right, so let's see. There are,
Ain't gonna happen.
so it's basically the three of you in front, and then Rudolfo in the men-at-arms behind.
Well,
Is
kind
that
of
what-
two of us in front,
yeah.
one in the middle, then the Rudolph on the, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of 3 layers with Morgan in the middle.
Pretty much.
Okay, 3 layers with Morgan in the middle.
Yeah, see, I definitely see, that second action, Ichabod pulls out the ensorcelled sword and has his shield up in defensive position, and Morgan zips around from his side and, shoots her finger and then steps back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the men-at-arms and Rudolpho are back there, and I think
Being
Gideon's
wimps.
up there in the front rank with you.
Well, they're just, yeah. It's just the 2 of us in the front rank.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, he like kicks at one of you and like slams his fist down at the other. So let's do those.
So does he appear as one of these demonic kind of looking things, or does he appear sort of like a huge undead thing?
He's like Mike Pepper times 2.
That's right. So more like an ogre,
Yeah.
but very much alive. Which is a legitimate question considering what we've run into in this place.
Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to. I'm looking for his attack die.
I think it's a D10.
A D10.
Yeah. It probably has 2 boons, but boons, banes, what are they really?
What are these boons and banes?
Well, one is a Batman villain.
This is true.
Not
And
a very
one's a
good
town.
one. Oh, good point.
I
I actually met someone who knew what that was.
Wow.
All right, this is against Ichabod. Crunch.
I have an AC 15.
Oh,
Oh, damn. Hit me. I have a 15.
Looks like you took 13 points of damage.
Oh,
Oh, no way.
I think we're gonna do some healing after this if we survive.
He just runs at you and like puts this flat-footed kick right into your shield.
I'm
Sends
sorry.
you like skidding back through the men-at-arms. You know, they dodge and dash and one gets knocked over with you. How are you doing hit point wise?
I have a couple left.
Okay.
Oh goodness. Okay.
And then
Yeah, I literally have 2 left.
you know this huge foot just stomps down, and that dragging meaty ham fist comes slamming down onto Gideon. And just crushes you for 10 points.
Ouch.
Okay, maybe it's time I just let loose, huh?
Yeah, it'd be good.
It may be time. Okay. Well, at least
All
try
right,
and let loose.
it is a new turn, and there's something weird. This guy is faster than he thought he was. I mean, this whole thing just startled you. The
speed at which he moved.
fury and the 2 attacks which were thrown in your direction.
Okay.
All right, are you guys going fast or slow?
Well, I'm gonna have to go slow so I can get up and charge into him.
Okay, you're gonna get up and charge back. Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
Um,
Let's see. I am gonna go.
I'm yelling,
Well,
Morgan, I'm on
Like
your
that, it's
left.
just like, you're just like, oh God, do it.
Morgan will go fast, I think.
All right, Morgan. How about you, Ichabod? All right,
Gideon will go.
What are you doing, dog?
I am going to go slow because there's. Well, yeah, I'm going to go slow.
You're hurting. Well, you're slow because you'll still go before he does.
Well, assuming he stays slow, hopefully, yes.
Good point. I don't
And
have a
then how
choice. I
about
want 2
the,
actions.
How about the?
Well, they, it would be great if Rodolfo can get up here and soak up some damage. If he can
Okay,
be
is he going
convinced
fast
to.
or slow?
Can
He'll
I
go
ma-
fast. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
They're all
Peter.
gonna
I was
charge
just saying,
into
can a man at arms charge up there first?
Yeah,
Because I
they're-
think they'd want to defend Rodolfo, so they'd want to go first.
Okay,
Mhm.
so Rodolfo's gonna kind of
Because
exalt
he's
his
got that
men
holy
to-
relic thing that we really got to get somewhere
True.
to do something with. So I think they'd be going in first.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
sir,
so-
I'll go first. Stay here.
Okay. Cool.
That's just my thought.
All right, that works.
Seems reasonable.
Oh, we'll just use those.
Because they're fanatics. That's the other thing too. They're not cowards. They're just drained of life and aged beyond their years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'd still have that same fighting spirit.
They do. They have very good morale, and they respect you all because you saved them,
Well, we saved them, and I think we're kind of proving ourselves. We're not.
and you have this like even though you have this new god heretic with you, he at least saved you from the shadowy blackness.
And in this crazy world, I'm just saying we just can't bother with new god, old god hatreds. That's got to go. I think that's the enemy using us. I really do.
I already broke this guy's will once. I can do it again.
Yeah, he has a weakness for cute little girls, I guess.
Well, I
All right,
guess.
who's going fast? Because they're going before me. Otherwise, I want to be dramatic.
I'm going fast.
Go ahead.
Because Morgan's pissed.
Okay, go ahead. All you fast folks, go fast.
She's pissed. She gets angry as Ichabod goes flying past her.
Goes flying, and you see Morgan. So she
Stand behind
casts,
me, kid. Wham!
so she casts her unerring dart spell, which is basically a more powerful version of the spell she just cast. She launches 7 darts. It launches 7 darts.
Okay.
That she had at the time. So you see Morgan. She's got her staff in one hand. She takes it in both hands and just begins spinning her staff round and round. And you just suddenly see just thorns just start shooting out from where she's spinning at this creature.
Okay, cool.
So if it will actually, there we go. I hit the wrong button.
7d3 plus 1 or something?
No, each one just does 1 point of damage,
Oh,
but so it does 7 damage total. And she's screaming bloody fury while she's spinning her staff.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, I would have done something more, but I realized if the entire party is going to run around me, the last thing I want is to blow up.
Well, yeah, exactly. Try not to take us with you.
I'd say I could kill this thing, but that would also mean I'd kill everyone else.
Yeah, I'm
So
standing.
one of the there are 4 men-at-arms. One of them kind of disentangles himself from you, Ichabod. You know, because you like went
Boom.
into him
Yeah.
and probably did some damage to him too when that happened.
Sorry.
Oh,
My bad. Sorry.
There's 3 that run up there, and they run up to kind of form this battle line in the hallway there against the ogre, and they lash out with their swords.
They're protecting me.
And
I'm just hoping to be able to get in there and get a good hack in.
right.
I'm
Right,
mad.
so the first attack is definitely a hit. The second, another hit.
Told you these men-at-arms
Yeah,
have
so these
fighting
guys just
spirit.
kind of move up like as a well-oiled machine. And the last one to come in is sort of slow, right? And just sort of takes up a defensive guard. And
He's protecting. I'm happy.
His head's still ringing from where I hit him with my boot.
that guy's back there with you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And let's see, there's some damage that gets done here. Looks like it's 2d6 plus 4. So 10 points of damage.
Nice.
We'll take everything we can get at this point.
And one of the cuts is like right across the belly of this beast, and he like reels back and he just vomits all over the men-at-arms, just like.
Oh, man. He's like a troll.
And let's see here.
Oh, I hate
I
that.
think we just lost our meat shield.
You cannot get that out of your armor.
Everybody needs to take an agility check. Agility challenge. I'm going to do it first for the men-at-arms so you see what's happening, and then we'll decide about Morgan and Gideon. Oh no, it's a 1d20. It's just an agility challenge. These guys don't have any agility mods, so it's straight. Always going to try to do 3 of them at once. First one passes, the second one passes, and yeah, the third one passes. So
Thank goodness.
they're like, they like step to the side. They sort of twist a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because you sort of just, you know, it's like it's like a fire hose of bile.
It's like Mr. Creosote.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing tonight, sir? Better get a bucket. I'm going to throw up.
Well, I wonder if my mage armor does anything for me.
Well, it keeps the precipitation away from you.
That's true.
Let's see. So let's see. I'm just going to track it as one group.
Oh, wow. It actually pulled off a 4.5 out of that. I'm impressed.
They took half damage because they made their save.
More, I was talking about the fact that Roll20 actually divided by 2 and got a decimal.
Oh, that you did math, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Morgan, you definitely need to make an agility check. Ichabod, you don't because you're well out of the range, as well as that fellow that you knocked over. And Gideon and Rudolfo may have to make an agility check.
Do I get anything for my arcane or magic armor, which says that, well, normal precipitation doesn't touch me?
Oh, shit.
It's not normal precipitation. It's not rain.
It's just
It's
stomach
vomit.
precipitation.
It's only normal at frat parties.
True.
All right. Let me just... It's agility check.
So it looks like Gideon just went ahead and made his agility check. He's willing to stand there in the breach.
Well, did I have a choice?
I made it!
So
I don't want to stand there, but I thought I had to take a choice anyway. Let me check.
I respect you.
Sure, that's fine. We'll just take your check.
Which I failed.
Ouch.
Morgan, you take 3 points of damage as you dash your head and on the side of the corridor, trying to get out of the way of this stuff. But it's still...
It was my small stature that got me out. I ducked and tripped.
And Gideon's going to take full 4 points, Gideon. And you are impaired, which
Oh.
means attack rolls, and you get a bane because you're just covered in this filth.
Right.
Everybody kind of did their best to get out of the way, and even Rodolfo sort of backpedals out of the area to where Ichabod and that other men-at-arms are sort of righting themselves. And
Okay.
I don't know when you recover that impairment, but you're going to take a bane
Mhm.
because of that impairment. Kaylee, leave it alone.
I would guess that it would probably last as long as the stuff is on him.
Give me just a minute, guys. I just need to settle the animals so they don't eat each other.
So while he's away, we should determine our plan of attack.
Kill it.
I like that.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I plan to come leaping in there right now and drive my sword into its forehead. And my sword's ensorcelled, so if it is a troll type of thing with regeneration, hopefully it won't regenerate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hurling about as much magic as I can at it.
Well, hopefully I'll get some better rolls.
I mean, I still have spells that I can throw at it, but if I want to, they're going to get ensorcelled, which means they're more likely to hit and do better damage, but it also means I could explode. So it's going to be fun. But I can heal us if we survive.
I'm
yeah, that's
hopeful.
good.
Well, at least to a degree.
Well, I'd be more than 2 hit points left, that's for sure.
This is fair.
I've got 5 hit points.
See, we're fine. Let's take this guy down.
And I'm sitting here with, I think, 12 hit points.
Hey, you'll need every one of them.
Yeah, no kidding. I have a healing rate of 3. That's right, I need to pull up book, because I didn't add that. Ugh. There's so many spells that I have.
Nice.
Show off.
Well, someone's got to have them.
It just means it's a nightmare to keep track of them all, but it means it's really useful.
Yes.
Have you gotten hateful defecation yet?
That one's just wonderful on principle.
Mm-hmm. I
I
think
can't
that's what
believe
it
I
just
can't
cast.
believe there's no illustration of it.
I think that's what the troll just cast.
Well, I think it just cast vomit. Hateful defecations when you cast on someone, they shit themselves to death.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
Give me my magic. Nope, further down. There we go. Life. Okay. What is your guys' healing rates?
6.
My healing rate is 4.
Sorry, back.
It'll go back up to 5, I think, when I get a good night's sleep and get my, I think it was 5 health I lost.
You shouldn't. Your healing rate shouldn't go down when you take damage.
He had
No.
something
This is a
bad
special thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, this was some special damage. I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. But it was something bad. I remember.
Yeah, it seems to me it happened to Gideon and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a reduction in your healing rate.
Right, but if we
Actually, I think
survive
it
this
was-
and get a good night's sleep, it will get
it will go
back.
back.
Yeah, but it can't be healed right now.
It was like a. Oh, maybe it was from the shadows. They caused health damage.
I think it was. Yeah, it was that very first encounter as we were running through that opening room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, because I was fighting with the sword and you had the lantern, so.
Let's see.
All I know is I want to kill this thing dead. Can I just put that out there?
It's badly hurt. That's for sure.
Oh, good. Well, I still haven't had an action, so I feel like there's hope for us yet.
There is
Well, you've hit it. Let me have a chance.
Please go right ahead. I'd be happy to let you get the killing blow. I'm just saying we're not done yet. We could still have a chance to take it down.
I wasn't sure if it went. So is it our turn now? I lost track.
Well, no, that was a triggered action. It's vomiting,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's.
Oh, right. Okay, they were going fast, right? Okay.
And in fact, it's strangely straddling both phases, both
Interesting.
fast and slow. So it's going to make an attack here in the fast.
So it's going flow.
It's going flow, yes, against one of the men-at-arms.
It's just
good.
going with the flow, man.
Nice, Ethan.
And it just it tries to bring up its fist, but nothing happens. I mean, it doesn't even launch the blow. It's just kind of like this awkward roll. All right, slow.
It's all the
heroes.
thorns in its shoulder joints. It just couldn't rotate its face.
Gideon, take this thing's head off.
Oh, he's charging back in.
Well, no, I've got my
Gideon. Sorry, I keep getting Gideon and Ichabod mixed up.
Ichabod is
Well,
charging back in if Gideon doesn't kill it.
So I've got my Bane Hammer, and it's got my +1 boon because of my icon of faith with a minus. Well, the bane was because of the stuff on me, so that wouldn't affect my floating hammer
It would
attack,
not.
right?
No,
Okay.
that's true.
There goes.
Your hammer is independent of you. That
Jeez.
is a miss.
Your hammer,
Yeah.
Nathan Explosion. Do you want to use a fortune point?
So you can convert one of those boons.
I have none.
Oh no!
Okay. And then he will just do his normal slashy slash. Here I will have a -1 boon. Or a
bane.
boon. A minus, yeah.
Just
That's
too bad
not much
because
better.
that was the -6 there.
Yeah. And then as my second action, I will use my shared recovery, which allows me and one other person to do their full recovery rate.
Oh.
Go ahead, Ichabod.
I was just say, have Ichabod do that.
Yep.
Bless your brother. Bless you.
No, I'm blessing you.
Yeah. Well, it's appreciated. Many thanks. Because I used my heal last time.
Fortunately,
And I am
I still have.
Okay, so now go ahead and do it after I've done like absolutely nothing.
Nothing. You just gave me 4 points back.
Oh, true. But I was talking about the actually being able to do something against the bad guy.
All right. So as I'm getting myself up, I'm going to.
I want to type on my newspaper.
I thought it was bedtime.
It's not bedtime.
It's 8:30.
Can you please turn it off?
For another half an hour.
Thank you.
It's not bedtime for me, is it?
I don't know. You're an adult. You can decide.
Ichabod wants to. I want to pull this guy up as I get up. The guy I knocked down, just to be polite. Just use my weight to leverage him up at the same time, and then I'm launching myself in.
Okay. It's like one of those awkward football pile-ups.
Right. I felt bad.
Yeah, but do you like pat him on the butt as you get up?
No. I just
Okay.
pull him up and I keep moving. He's probably behind me, but I'm charging in. Morgan, on your right, look out! And I'm going to try to leap up and put my sword right through this thing's forehead.
Well, it's a good thing I don't to my left.
Well, I saw her go right into the wall, so I'm going,
That's right.
yeah. I'm basically cutting between her and it. I don't want her launching more of those things as I come charging in, though.
The spinning staff.
Oh, a 9. I just missed. But I'm right there. You bastard.
Well, that was uneventful.
Uneventful. I have 4 hit points back. That's a big deal to me. I'm quite happy about that. And the let's not forget the militiamen. They did damage.
They did do damage.
They did. Any other slow heroes? I think there's Rudolfo possibly left.
Right,
Yeah,
but
that's.
I think he's staying in the back because he's got the magic box and his guys are protecting him. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's the guy who's just getting off the floor is probably going to be protecting him.
Yeah.
But he
Right.
really does have to kind of hold back.
Right. So that the one that you helped up, like sort of steps up beside Rudolfo to protect him. All right. And now this thing has a choice of targets. It's going to. There are 3 guardsmen and Ichabod in the front rank.
Afraid so.
That would make
Well,
Ichabod
Gideon.
4.
Gideon's
That's
in the
true.
front rank, too.
Oh, Gideon's up there too. Well, this is against.
Yeah, I mean, he took a swing at him.
All right, so we'll say that when Ichabod jumped through, trying to stab him in the forehead,
Mm-hmm.
you landed behind him. So you guys are kind of surrounding him, if you could call
Yeah, okay.
a man being able to surround a brute surrounding him.
Well, it's kind of a horseshoe, really. Yeah.
Okay, so he attacks one of the men at arms.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, good. I still have one of those.
And he's like just pawing at his belly, and then this where that bile is just leaking from his guts. All right. a new turn. Anybody changing their initiative order?
I'm going fast.
I'm going fast.
Right.
I forgot I rated
Um,
something.
Yes, I am going fast since I don't have a. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, that looks good. All right, fast heroes. That includes the 3-minute arms facing off against the brute.
Well, let me try again. Here comes my
God hammer.
Godhammer.
Let's name it Nathan Explosion.
Jeez,
Boy, the dice just.
I've got
tonight.
Horus dice tonight.
Change the color of your dice.
No, I never change the color of my dice. And then my regular attack at a -1. And
Ooh.
Oh,
hit.
that's better. Nice.
There we go.
It was almost a 7.
Yeah, I thought it was to begin with. So 4 points, I guess. Yep.
Ready? That's Gideon done.
Gideon done.
Shall we do the men-at-arms?
I'm gonna go before the men-at-arms, just because I want to. Or actually, I can bring up the rear if they don't do it. That's better.
All right.
I'll go
I'm going
last.
fast. I'm going
you'll
fast, so I'll go after. I'll go last just so I can reserve my spells.
Good idea. So the men-at-arms, then me, then Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the men-at-arms, they make an attack, and they attack with D20. 1d20 plus 3 plus a d6.
And it's not that I'm cool. I just have a narrative idea.
Okay.
I mean, if
Same
I kill
thing.
this thing with the spell that I have, it dies and turns into a sapling. So
Oh, that's nice.
That's a miss. That's a hit.
Go men-at-arms!
That is a miss. So that's 1 hit for d6 plus 2. Damn it.
that's always fun.
5 points. All right. Looks like it is Ichabod.
Okay, so I came leaping in, aiming for the head, and it was kind of grabbing at its stomach and kind of stumbling, and I missed as I came down. And as I come down, hit the ground and spin around, trying to get a low cut right below where it's holding its hand to, protect that opening from where they already started gutting it.
Okay.
So now going for a low abdomen shot.
Okay. Low line cut. All right.
I'm trying not to get a vomit all over me.
Ooh.
Yes! 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 A natural 20. I know it doesn't do anything, but it still brings it to a 26, baby. So that's another D6. Oh, only 1, but let's take it.
7, eh?
7 total, yeah.
Does anything happen on a 20 plus for you?
Yeah, that was the extra D6 damage. If it's over 20, if it's a 20 or more and beats it by 5, it does another D6 damage.
Okay.
Opie gets another action if he does that.
All right. Do I ensorcel my magic? I think so.
He's reeling. He's reeling. We got him on the ropes.
I say if I ensorcel it and I roll really well, I can kill him potentially.
And turn him into a tree.
How much damage
Yeah.
did you do?
I did a total of 7.
I mean, how many d6s did you roll? I guess is my question.
2. I did 1. Oh, well.
So you should.
Yeah, let's hold on.
You should
No,
always.
I rolled a D6 plus a D6 damage plus 1. Yeah, so I rolled a 2, a 3, and plus the 1.
You're
So
using your sword, right?
yes. Oh, so yeah, actually, there's still 1 more D6 it should have done because I'm
Well,
not adding.
I see in your sword you have a d6 and a d6 plus 1.
Right, but that's because of my ability to fight. But it's
Right.
going to do 1 more D6 for being sorcelled, and then it does the D6 for the 20 plus. So then it does 4 more, so it's a total of 11. Good call. That's what I kept forgetting last time too.
So the damage was a d6 plus 1 and a d6 plus 1, so you did 3, 5. Oh, I think I did the factors a little bit wrong. 6 points of damage.
Well, I rolled a 2, a 3, and it did plus the
I'm gonna
1.
change your sword here just for my own.
Oh, please do. Let me take a look here.
Write it that way.
Ah,
Because it just says an extra d6, right? I think the
Right.
+1 is coming from.
the plus 1 is one of
Strength one?
my.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a combat bonus from one of my talents. So I think it's. Where is that? Or is it my strength? It might be my strength. I get
Might
one
just
extra. Combat prowess gives me an extra d6 damage.
Which we just
Right.
factored in for you.
Right. And that's the healing. Oh, you're moving stuff around. Like what did I just do?
Sorry.
It's all right. And then then when attacking with a weapon, you make the attack roll with a boon. So the +1 must be from my strength. Is that?
I think that
well,
that
is it
goes
a,
into the attack roll of strength. So
oh, no, you have a longsword, right?
Yes, that's the base sword.
That's
Is a
what it
d6
is.
plus
D6
1.
plus 1.
That's it.
got
Yeah.
you. Got
So
you.
it's 2 to 7 damage for a base longsword. That's what it was.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, but the long knife, that wicked assassin blade, that's the one that does 2d6.
Mhm.
Right. But I'm
But it's
I
fragile and it's
I'm gonna erase it because I sold that or got rid of it, but
Right,
because I didn't like it. It
bad
was a nasty thing. Yeah.
left you feeling dirty inside.
Yeah, and if I could destroy it, I would try to destroy it. Just
Yeah, just stomp on it with your boot on the edge of the curb or something.
here, let us. How do you erase things from this? Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of things off my inventory.
Oh, I'll fix it.
Let me see.
I think in the wheel. Oh, you'd click modify, and then there's
Yep.
a trash button.
Where's modify? All the way over here on the right?
Mhm.
Bottom.
Oh, I see. There it is. Thank you.
Cool. Well, that was fun. More fun with character sheets.
Well, it is. Well, I just hope that extra 4 points took us.
Oh, you said you did an extra 4 against?
Yeah, so it's a total of 11 for that attack. Oof, nice deep cut right where the hip meets the thigh.
And now
All
there are
right.
5 of you.
Well,
And Morgan's still going.
Morgan gets to
Oh,
go.
Morgan's going. Okay.
So there's
Morgan,
hope that we
what do you
can take him down before he does another 15 points of damage to me.
Yeah, so Morgan, I was just checking. She had done her magic acorn spell earlier, right? Before they'd entered, I think it was 2 sessions ago.
Yeah,
So, and that gave her 1 magic acorn when she rolled.
good.
So she's gonna throw that at this creature,
Okay.
and let me get to the actual description. Okay, creature attacks the acorn by throwing it at target creature within range, making an agility attack roll against the target's agility. On a success, the target of the attack takes 1d3 damage and becomes slowed for 1 round. And
Okay.
then, so before I roll that, I will add in that I have my sorcery talent, which when using an attack spell, which is what this is, I can add 1 boon to the roll and 1 bane to the target save and gain 1 strain.
All right. Wow, does strain work?
Ooh.
So strain
Let's
at
just
the end of a round.
what this is.
At the end of a round, where 1 or more strain is gained, I make a will challenge with a number of banes equal to my strain total.
Okay.
On a fail, I deal damage in a sphere of radius 1 yard, so 3 feet, per strain, dealing 1d6 per point of power to everything other than the caster.
Okay.
Creatures can make a challenge to take half damage. Once triggered, the strain goes to 0.
An agility
So fortunately,
challenge, an agility challenge for half damage.
that is an excellent. Let me double check.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. Let's just
Yes,
see
it's
if we get
agility
there.
challenge.
And then I guess you must recover your strain with the long rest.
So when I explode, my strain goes to 0, and when I rest, my strain goes to 0.
Okay, interesting. And is this something you can do with, just with attack spells? You
Only
can
with attack spells.
choose
Yep.
to use your sorceress power.
Yeah. And as I gain higher levels, the things I can do with my sorcery talent varies. So
Okay,
I can add more damage later and other things, but right now that's what I can do.
that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for Morgan. She's kind of standing in the middle of you.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, it's only 3 feet,
And
but
it's at the end of a round. It's at the end of the round when you're checking strain, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All
See
right.
what happens.
So I get 1 boon for that. All right. 17 versus its agility.
Oh, that's a hit.
Nice.
Okay.
Well
So it
done,
takes-
Morgan.
Takes 3 points of damage. I was hoping for 20 plus, and then I get an extra d6, but
Okay, let's take what we got.
yep. And I will add 1 strain to my total.
You could convert that. Do you have a fortune point?
I do have a fortune point.
Spend a fortune to convert that boon to a 6, and
That would give me the extra d6, and that would kill
make
it?
it a 20, and that would give you an extra d6. I don't know if it would kill it, but you would get an extra d6.
I will do it to spare my companions. Okay, so I'll roll. I spent my fortune point, my last fortune point.
Load. What does that do?
An excellent question.
Attack rolls and challenge rolls are made with a no. Can only take a slow turn. Okay. Speed is halved. Cannot benefit from bonuses to speed. Okay.
Okay, and here's the extra d6 of damage.
6.
Now.
Damn it.
Ah!
That's what I do. Still, it's a point we didn't have before. Let's take it.
Right, so
Yeah.
you cannot take.
So close. If I killed him, he would have turned into a tree.
Is there any duration on that slowness? Slowed for 1 round. Okay, so he can't take fast. So he kicks over to slow. I think all of you guys went, didn't you?
Right, so.
Except for Rodolfo.
Rodolfo and the bodyguard, they're kind of like standing there in the back rank, and this thing is like on its like hunched over. Both of its hands are on the ground. It's like it's just like choosing like which one of you it's going to strike out at next.
Oh, great. Now it's angry.
I've shot it
And
with
I'd
thorn.
say you're all viable targets.
I defer to your judgment, sir.
Does that mean Morgan's a target?
Is Rodolfo or his bodyguard going to do anything before the creature acts?
Pull Morgan out of the way?
You try to stay out of its way. And I'm trying to stay between Morgan and it.
Okay, so you guys are going Rodolfo and the bodyguard are going to like move in and try to drag Morgan back.
Yes.
Okay.
Kid, are you crazy?
That does draw its attention. Because they kind of like try to race in there, grab you, and pull you out. But the 3 of you are like trying to get out of the melee, and you're its primary targets. It's going to be a 1d. There's going to be a 1 in 6 chance that it's going to be Morgan that's going to be attacked. So on a 1.
Okay, so
No,
same
it's
odds.
okay.
Same odds.
And now 2d. Now it's Rodolfo or the men at arms. Low for Rodolfo. Oh, Rodolfo. Crunch. Ah!
Told you to stay out of the way.
And there's the ham fist just pile drives him into the floor as he's trying to crawl away, and you can see his shoulders like badly dislocated. He looks awful.
Yeah, I believe
He's
it.
like old man getting hit with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, I've been hit by that guy. I believe it.
All right, new round. And everybody recovers their condition. Well, the slow
I
condition gets
will
recovered.
choose to go.
I'm going fast. I'm gonna finish this
Mhm.
something off.
That's what we said last time.
We got close.
Yep, but I rolled a 1.
No doing that.
Okay.
And we're all going to hit and do massive damage.
Who's up?
I will
Well,
go first this time.
you go first, sir.
If I can do something.
Oh.
Mm,
That was
nope.
almost a 14.
Don't forget your hammer.
That
That
was,
was
the
my hammer.
Oh, okay. Well,
No.
slash it. Slash
You
this
don't have a
thing.
bane anymore. You're not impaired anymore by the goo.
Okay. I'm sure it won't matter, but thank you.
I think you might need to do a blessing or say something. Like, remember, it always helped when Gerda intoned.
Oh, there we go.
You might try that next time with a hammer just to see. Something very Stan Lee would work.
So I got a 14 to hit.
Just barely.
I'm sorry?
No boons for you or anything in this? Just straight attack rolls, huh?
Right, just for, yeah.
Because you're a cleric.
Yep.
You're a priest. Just a
I
priest.
thought a 13 hit before.
It did.
His defense is 15.
Okay.
It got bigger.
All right, so I'm done.
All right. Well, that came reaching across to try to grab Rodolfo, one of the men-at-arms, and I'm going to try and hack it off right at the elbow.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't, Morgan will smack it.
15. Bam! So there's 4 points of damage, plus
Oh,
another D6 for the ensorcelled blade.
I forgot to do strain.
Oh, you
So
better
a total
do
of 6 points.
6. Okay, you better do the strain.
Yeah, I was gonna say I need to do that.
Yeah, we're in trouble if she explodes.
Well, because before it would have been fine because it would have just been her, Rudolfo, and
Well, now
the creature.
she's kind of in the back rank with you know, in the
Mm-hmm.
behind the battle line, behind the scrum.
Right.
somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe that's actually better that
Right.
came in there and
Exactly.
pulled her out of there. Watch out, she's gonna blow.
All right. It is a will check with 1 bane. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I have some bonuses to my will.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
Well, the roll doesn't look good. I haven't seen it come up on the. I see it on the screen, but I don't see it in the chat.
I just rolled it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been my previous roll. That's even worse.
Thanks, Nils.
Hey, I'm not the one with the strain.
Okay. So, all
I
right.
didn't
So
turn
it's
to the dark arts.
3-foot radius.
Okay, wait a minute. Can I spend a fortune point to save us from this thing?
Well, I don't
You're
even know
not-
if it's in 3
It's
feet.
only,
of range.
it's only gonna. You guys aren't near enough to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only 1 yard, right?
Yeah. It's only 1 yard.
3 feet. Yeah.
Wait,
So you got.
I hate to do this, but read that again. I thought it said 1 yard per PowerPoint.
No, it's 1 yard per strain, dealing 1d6 per power point.
Got it. Okay.
The damage increases with power, but the range only increases with the amount of strain.
And
Mhm.
how do you track by your power as a wizard, by your
Mm-hmm.
power tree. What is your power?
2.
Okay, so you're doing 2d6 damage
Yep.
in a 3-foot radius.
Is
Later-
there anybody nearby her?
Yeah, Rudolfo and the men at arms. So
Right.
go ahead and throw your damage.
Later on, I can actually use my strain as a targeted attack.
Provided we all live.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the men at arms is like reaching to like help the two of you up, and he just gets blown back. And actually, this is the same one that got bowled into by
It's not his day. It is just not his day.
by
Ichabod.
Ichabod, and he's just clinging to life.
Well, at least he's clinging to life. Because if he's clinging to life, I can heal him.
And show us what happens as you kill Rudolfo with your pent up.
Not Rodolfo.
So, as soon as the this big creature just hand-fisted Rodolfo, it was like it just pushed Morgan over the edge. She just could not deal with it. And so that purplish mage armor she had on, that's the same color of energy you see around her. And it actually just starts like getting bigger and bigger until it just explodes into a little ball. And you see there was Rodolfo, and there is now a burned corpse.
Oh. Rodolfo, we hardly knew you, fanatic who threatened my companion. That's what you get. I'm sorry. That's what you get.
And when you look, after you're done looking at the fried corpse of Rodolfo, you look and see Morgan is basically collapsed.
Ah, crap, monkey.
From the strain.
And do you these guys okay, do you take damage from the strain or no?
No, I don't. I'm the only person who can't be harmed by releasing my own magic.
You're safe in the whirlwind.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the eye of the storm.
Literally the eye of the storm, yeah.
All right.
It's a pretty cool flavor.
Yeah.
So that was Ichabod, Morgan.
Well, Morgan hasn't actually gone yet.
Oh, that's right. That was the end of the last turn, right?
That was the end of the
That was
last
to
turn.
catch us up in the last turn. Whoops, we forgot. Morgan blew up. Okay, so Ichabod's gone, correct?
I'm afraid so. I didn't take it down, but I did do damage.
All right,
And
Morgan.
Gideon did nothing.
Morgan will blast this thing with her Sunbeam spell and not use her sorcery talent.
And there's still the surviving men-at-arms.
Right.
You probably will need to make a morale check.
No, they didn't see what happened behind them.
I just did.
Don't tell them. They'll only get upset.
So Morgan, after exploding, is a little shocked that she just exploded because she's never exploded before.
Adolescence is a tough time.
Yeah. But she's quick to try and regain her focus and once again, or points her palm out at this creature to blast it with a beam of light.
All right.
Let's see how this goes.
Verse agility. Yeah. Show us what happens as you low this fiend.
She's just finished blasting or exploding, and there's still some residual magical energy in the area from her explosion. And she looks at the creature, and as she begins gathering power in the palm of her hand, you see the trails of energy that she released from her body begin coalescing in the palm of her hand. And you just see an even more powerful beam of light than you expected come out and just blast this creature in the face, incinerating its head and just frying it as the skin goes away and the bone begins melting away until there's nothing left but a headless corpse.
I like it. I like it.
Drawing up the energy off the corpse of Rudolfo.
Indeed.
Very cool. All right. That was quite a battle. The men-at-arms kind of gather around the fallen charred corpse of Rodolfo. Their heads are bowed. They don't even say one word to you. They sort of lift them up, bear them out on their shoulders, marching up to the cellar in the blackness.
Is that box of light falling on the ground next as they leave?
You don't see it. Do you want to stop the procession?
If that's what we need to stop the disease, then I'm going to have to. Yeah, I was like, wait, we need to finish his work, so his death was not in vain.
Morgan will go up to the procession and offer to actually lead them out with her light, so they don't die on the way out,
Okay.
as penance for what happened.
Okay. What are you guys going to do here in the cellar? Are you going to go with Morgan?
God, shit. We
Well,
have to. We have to at least get these guys out, but we got to get the box from them.
That's why I'm
Right.
following.
Right, and you and I are not in any condition to be down here by ourselves. So
No, we need to stick together.
Okay.
Yeah, I can heal you guys to a degree, but
So everything on Rudolfo's person has been charred and blackened.
Okay.
There's no box,
Okay, that's fine.
and it didn't fall from his belt or anything like that.
Damn.
You don't need the box. The
Okay.
box is a tool, but it's not a.
It's a MacGuffin.
It's not a key.
Very good. Crap. We need to get these guys out through past those damn shadow specters and not get ourselves killed.
see, that's the real thing that just killed this creature. Was when I
So-
incinerated the box, its magic was released, and that's what I just blasted.
Right. Interesting. That's a nice rationalization. Okay.
They should stay with us, even if they're going to carry Rodolfo and not be involved in any fight. We respect it. They should stay with us so we can all get out together.
Yeah, they're grim-faced and determined.
Well,
They're returning to, they're returning to the temple to perform the rites on their fallen commander.
we could try and make a will attack against them.
You want to try to persuade them?
That's what I was just suggesting to my companions. We could try.
It can't hurt. Otherwise we have to go all the way back, and then we're probably going to die in the entryway again.
All right.
Sorry, you do have Morgan with you, and you do know that the radius of her light spell kept the shadows away, kept the shadows completely at bay.
Right.
So with the light spell, you'd be able to pass the cellar without
And come back
and
to
come
this
back.
side. Okay. Well, I think that would be the right thing to do. They can deal with zombies on their own, but
Did you want to try to persuade them to stay with you and to delay their whatever rites they feel they must perform? You can make a will attack, one of you with 2 banes. You can argue for a boon if you have one, but I don't see one. Do you have a?
I certainly don't have anything that would do it, and I'm kind of the belief of that. Well, that's a big deal to them, and I guess gotta kind of respect that. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's 2 banes on it.
yeah, and I will help get them through the. I'll go with Morgan to help get them through the shadows, and I wish them luck, and may their gods bless them.
And I thank them for their service.
But we clearly have a job to do. There's something we need to do down further, right?
So there's no will attack to.
No, I personally not from. Yeah,
Not from me.
Okay.
and I'm guessing not from Neil since we haven't heard from him.
I get that. I think it,
yeah, that's fine. Let's let him go.
I have a pretty good will, but I have the feeling that if I were to do it, I should have an extra bane thrown at me for the fact that I was the one who killed. So
Why would we listen to you?
yeah. So besides, Morgan feels a little bit bad.
Okay.
Because
unlike her companions, she helps everybody because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
So she's heard a little bit deeper down.
So after we get these guys out and we can come back to this area, we should probably do some healing before we go much further.
That might be a good idea.
Do you want to do that healing at the landing of the
You where the Shadow Lord thing is?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine.
here?
I just want someplace convenient before we're thrust back into fighting goddamn trolls or whatever that thing was. I don't like it. Okay, I didn't like it.
Giant Mike Pepper.
Ugh. I like Mike Pepper. I just don't want to fight him.
that at some point resting would not be bad because I am running low on spells. I have them,
Yeah.
but they are
Right.
low.
We might be able to rest in here and hide out like in, I don't know.
I don't know of a good place to rest at this point. I'm just putting out there that we might want to be on the lookout for something like that. Especially as I'm about to burn all of my healing magic to get us to some semblance of life.
No, I get it. I get it.
Okay, which spells are you casting?
Well, first I'm going to cast light to get us out of here.
Yeah, that's okay. Good. So go ahead and mark that one down.
Mm-hmm.
The casting of your light spell.
Yep.
One
Just
casting.
mark it
of your
down.
spell.
Okay. And then then I have minor healing, which I could touch a target and I heal damage equal to half their healing rate. And I can do that 3 times a day.
These guys' healing rate's kind of goofed up because of their health got screwed.
Yep.
What's your healing rate, Ichabod?
Right now it's 4.
So it would be 2 points back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gideon is in the same kind of boat. I just want you to know where you're throwing your magic. Right?
Oh, I know. The only issue is that's the best healing I've got right now.
Okay.
So we're thinking we might, because we can't.
So let me set the stage for you about where you are, and you can brainstorm. I just want to refresh everybody.
Yeah.
That you had come through. You had snuck past the barricade that was thrown up hastily around this one quarter of the city to keep out this plague and infestation, which caused the dead to walk again. And you crept through the sewer tunnels to sneak past that barricade, and then you'd come up onto a big hill where there had once been a great house, which had now been leveled, ruined, and rubbled. And you did find a stairway leading to a cellar where the black shadows were, and then a twisting stairway which led five more flights beneath the earth into this kind of labyrinth where you found a room with pillars, sort of a library with stuffed with books and odd artifacts and implements, and 2 like overstuffed high-backed reading chairs kind of things, and then the room of debauchery, and then the hallway. That's everything that you know about this place. It should kind of be revealed on your map area, theoretically.
So from what we've seen, it sounds like most of the only, well, I don't know. It seems like the places we haven't gone are to the south and east, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, because we were coming down this corridor right here.
Right.
And we didn't go any further here, but those adventurers that we ran into, they went further south
Right.
here.
Right. There was something still more that. Okay, that's what I was wondering was because. Right. Okay.
So my thought was, if we're going to try and camp, the library's not a bad spot to hole up in, because we can seal these doors.
There's one door here and one just kind of archway, passageway.
I see.
So it's not actually a way that we can seal.
But we can maybe at least put bookcases in the way.
You could maybe create a barricade, sure.
We could seal ourselves in the jail cells.
Oh, over here.
No, that yeah. There was, I think there's another set we looked down right over here as well.
Right.
But I think rest is a good idea because that'll get us back to our base health.
Well, closer to it at least.
Closer. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Plus, we'll each get our abilities left, so we can always heal up with our base abilities too. Because I can give myself half my healing, no, my full healing rate once a day. Right.
I don't know. I keep thinking I have a thought and I don't get it. So never mind.
Just slips away. I'll give you guys a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think we can go all the way back to the other side of the barricade to rest up. I think it would be as much fighting or dealing with shit as it would be to.
Yeah. I guess my thought was, what is our purpose here? We're supposed to find the evil, or
well, we were hoping, we were looking for Rodolfo because supposedly he had an idea of how to stop this plague.
Mhm.
And once we found him, he said the source of the plague and the way to stop it is down these stairs, down inside the earth, and that's why we've been working our way down through here.
Mhm. So what I'm wondering is if we just somehow cave in this entranceway, is that sufficient?
I doubt it, because I mean, if it's something that can make zombies, it'll just dig itself out. So I think there's something we have
Sure.
to do down
Okay.
here, like mess up,
Okay.
like desecrate some evil shrine or do something.
Mhm.
Just my theory.
So I'm sorry, what were these? What was the larger area to the left with the
That
little
was
dots and the columns?
That was the room with the pillars, and that's where the batlings were
Okay.
fighting the other adventurers, and they went out that southern door, so we went out the northern door, and that's where we found the library.
Right. And was there something to the south of the library, or just
Well, apparently they because they went through a door into whatever's there.
What I mean is, there an entranceway exiting the library to the south?
Oh, and I don't recall there being one down here.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about like here.
Oh no, there's nothing there.
Okay, because the way that the light is shining. Okay, there we go. All right. And then we've got the debauched room, and then the area that the bad guy came from further
There
to the south.
was one to the south here. They didn't go through this southern door. They went through the southern door. They didn't from this where I'm standing. Yeah. They went through
Right. Okay.
this one. Fuckers. Hope they're dead.
Yeah, they're probably stirring the zombie pot.
Well, that one wanted to leave his friends behind, so it just screams dirtbag right there, you know.
So just on the other side of this entranceway was the room with the shadows, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, 5 flights up.
okay. Can we camp in the stairwell?
Yeah, there's a stairwell just to the north of where we are right now, and beyond that is where the shadows are.
Right, but I'm saying, can we camp in the stairwell?
Maybe, but the shadows are right at the top of it.
Well, if it's 5 flights up, we don't have to go to the top. I'm just thinking, trying to find a more less accessible area.
Well, a stairway is a more accessible area. That's what I'm saying. Hiding out in the library, there's an archway, but there's also a way we can block. So there's only one way in that way, and we can retreat out a second door if we have to.
True. Okay.
So we eat some hardtack, no fire, lanterns on low, circulate watch.
That's interesting.
That the beam's not showing anything.
Oh, maybe I've got it such a small. There we go.
That room won't light up. Oh, there's the lantern. Yeah, we saw this. We could see that when we walked by.
Right, but that's interesting that it doesn't stay lit as opposed to the other one that does. At least on my map.
That's a bad sign. Probably full of dragons.
Or just bad DM design.
I've been meaning to ask him if he's downloaded these maps or if this is part of the fan-built stuff.
Oh, so I was looking at RPG Now, and they have 30 files on sale for Shadows of the Demon Lord for adventures, 6 of which are like full campaigns. So,
Wow. So
you
you don't
don't
have
need
to play it
anything.
as the Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign. You can play a different campaign.
Well, it's the same. It's the same setting and the same concept. It's just it's a different sequence of events. You'd start over necessarily, and with a new set. And then one of them is like pirates themed, and 3 of them are actually originally D&D adventures for the city of Freeport, which they've converted into Shadows of the Demon Lord. And then there's a bunch of like most of them are just one shots that you can kind of string together.
Yeah, I'm back with you guys. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Okay, no worries.
Did you make a plan?
Yes.
What is
It's cunning enough you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel.
What is it? Let's hear it.
Well, we think we need to camp because we're hurting, we're tired, we've been here a long time. So we're thinking we want to barricade one door in the library.
Oh, okay.
And if we can, set barricades in the arch.
Or at least at least a
Sorry,
defensible position.
I just
Sure.
pulled my headset off. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, and heal up, and we'll rotate our watch and.
Okay.
Yep. And before I rest, I'll make sure that I cast all my healing castings on them.
Okay, you're gonna basically
Use
burn
up
it down.
today's. Yeah.
Exactly. So once I've rested and get it back, I'll be in slightly better shape. We'll just heal them as much as I can, basically.
So where are you at now, Ichabod?
Let's see. I have taken 11 of 17 damage, so I have 6 points.
Okay. So I've got actually 11 points. So why don't you take all 3 of his 3 shots, and that will get you about an equal amount of damage, remaining hit points that I have.
Okay. So there's actually one more thing I can do, which I actually should do anyway. I have my quote unquote healing talent. It's called spell recovery. So I use an action to heal my healing rate and then recover the casting of 1 spell I expend. So I can heal myself, or so I can heal you guys, then use my healing or my spell recovery to heal myself and then heal you guys 1 more time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Well, so if you give me 3, definitely give the other one to Nils.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds good.
So that is the plan.
Okay, so I'm getting 6 back.
Yeah, so, yep, the spell gives you half your healing rate back. Let me just double check that. Yes, you touch the target, which heals damage equal to half its healing rate.
Very good.
So Morgan lays hands on Ichabod, and you see you can feel magical energy coursing through her hands into your body, making you feel better.
Excellent.
She will do that 3 times on Ichabod. And then we'll use her spell recovery talent to heal herself and recover a casting of that spell, the healing spell, and then use her last casting of the healing spell on Gideon.
Okay.
So you recover half your healing rate, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get a good solid rest, I will go back to a base health of 23, so my healing rate will now be 5.
Okay. And my healing rate is 3, which heals the 3 damage I took using my spell recovery. And that, I think, is everything for me.
By the way, one of the things in that archway where we're just trying to kind of block it, I'm gonna leave a torch jammed in there. So that if something is coming in there, I can do a control flame, light the torch, and distract it possibly.
Oh, I mean a non-burning torch.
Right.
Unlit torch.
Have an unlit
Okay.
torch there just so if something's coming in, you go, boom, it's like, what's that? Then we get a chance to wump it or get the hell out that other door.
Okay.
Good idea.
Again, it does nothing and it means nothing, but it just seems like a cool flavor thing.
Okay, cool. So you guys go back to the library, and like I said, this place is full of all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, it's just chocker blocked. There are shelves and bookshelves, stacked into the middle of the room. Those you can manhandle those bookshelves into the archway and across the little short passageway there to the west to kind of create a barricade. That's not too difficult, and if that's your intention to barricade both locations, it would certainly slow somebody down that was trying to get at you and give you some
Warning.
advance warning that somebody was trying to get it in where you were. The room is just full of books, scrolls, little weird statues. Some are kind of big, like busts. Sacrificial knives, like those long knives that Ichabod's destroyed. Goblets, bones, just all kinds of junk.
While I'm thinking about it, and while we're in this room full of books, which might have magic, why don't I use my magic sense spell?
Oh, okay. What does that do? Like a 5-yard radius or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you do detect like 3 little things kind of ping up, like 2 scrolls and a clay jar.
All right.
And the scrolls are incantations. I'll tell you what they are as soon as I determine them.
Cool.
I'll throw them to the chat just so we don't interfere with any of the gameplay while I'm doing some of the mechanics stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so you safely kind of establish your camp here in the cellar beneath the cellar, in the labyrinth beneath the cellar. And did you do all your castings and whatnot that you needed to? Is everybody recovered at what they had hoped to be recovered to?
Recovered as much as we can.
Yeah, and I can cast my own again if I have to, but I'd like to wait. We're level 3 or are we level 4?
3.
3.
Level
Okay.
3.
I hadn't changed it on the character sheet, that's why I asked.
Gotcha.
We're hoping to get to 4, that's what it is.
Right.
Yes, that's the hope.
We're hoping to get to 10.
Yes.
That's the overarching dream.
And I'm going to wait and cast my ensorcel blade until we're pretty much back where we killed the troll until I need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. All right. Let me see if there's any encounters in the night.
Why were you rolling 54? I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was on a D1000. We're all good.
Right. And then let's see. One at the beginning and one at the end.
That's not good.
Kind of as your guys are settling down for the night, you hear that door slam, clam, and like a light on the far side of the barricade, and it's like, what the fuck is Jesus? We're gonna hole up in here.
Neener, neener, neener.
What do you do? Anything?
Well, if they were going to hold up in here. Do we want to figure out who these guys are?
Well, it's the guild members.
Yeah.
Guild members with air quotes. We're saying nothing.
So there's a little bit of whispering going on back and forth, and you can see somebody's trying to pushing the barricade.
You see, Morgan will quietly incant her life sense spell to figure out how many people are beyond the bookcase.
All right.
And once we determined what was and wasn't magic, I took a bunch of that paper and I put it at both entrances. So there's something going to burn.
Yeah, those bookshelves are very combustible too. Yeah, they're. So you're using your light spell to figure out how many people.
No, I have a life sense spell. It's basically like my magic sense, but I detect all living creatures.
And it doesn't take a spell slot or anything.
It's a 0 level cantrip.
Okay, sure. There are four fellows on the other side trying to make their way into the.
Cool. Just figured we would want to know how many guys we're encountering here.
Okay, you can see like an arm comes through the far side of the barricade, and it's just moments until it's they're through. What will you guys do?
Well, we can just tell them to get lost.
We can tell them to get lost, and if that doesn't work, I have a spell that could potentially blind all of them.
Good, we'll save that.
So you want to scare them? You want to try and scare them off?
Yeah.
Are you just going to yell at them, or you want to give me some? You want to give me some? I'll just give you a straight challenge roll against their will, your will versus their will, kind of thing.
Well, I think we should definitely voice a challenge
or you can argue for some banes, or maybe I'll give you a boon out of it. I don't know. I mean, you can argue for some boons, or maybe I'll give you a bane out of it, right?
Basically, I'm going to yell out. We told you before, we don't trust you. We don't like you. Get the hell out of here or you're going to regret it. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, that's a little ominous. And they're like, oh, it's those fuckers.
Hey, they threatened us and then they took off and gave us nasty, they were assholes. And that guy tried to talk his way past us, leaving his friends to die. They're dicks.
He said he was going to get help. Remember?
He said a lot of things. He said a lot of things. He said he was going to, he said he knew us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knew you.
No, he knew us.
Yeah. Opie probably knows him.
Yeah, then I guarantee I don't trust him.
Not points in the good book.
Opie's the only one I trust.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll give you a boon out of that. Ichabod, okay. Go ahead and make a will attack, and basically you're trying to, you're using your will score with any of its modifiers plus a boon, trying to score greater than their will, which is a 12.
So I had a +1, so now it's 2 boons.
It's not 2 boons. It's
no, it's +1 to the roll.
Yeah,
it's
plus
not
1
enough.
to the roll. Do you want to use a fortune point and convert that?
Not on this. No, I don't. I'm going to let Morgan blast them.
I advise you turn away when they come through.
Okay, so they
duck behind my shield.
they don't seem
plussed. They're nonplussed.
They're not. They're coming ahead, and the 4 men push into the room. Now what?
Now
Morgan throwing a spell, or
Morgan's going to introduce them to blindness.
You hear Morgan yell, "We told you to stay away!" And then she's gonna from her palm you see this glowing little speck of light that goes in a straight line toward the center or towards the first person, and when it reaches them, it explodes into colorful lights, and the lights spread in a 1 yard radius centered on the target. And each sighted creature in the area must succeed on a perception challenge roll or become dazed.
Dazed.
And confused.
And confused.
It's a really good album.
All right. And dazed. Well, this might be enough to drive them off. So let's. What's the attack thing that you're doing? I mean, what's the roll? What's the save I need to make?
You need to make a perception challenge.
I need to make a perception challenge.
Yep. Yeah, it automatically explodes. It's just a matter of or not.
Yeah, did you cover up your face in time? That's why I said I ducked behind the shield, because I know what Morgan does.
Yep, and that's why it's a very small speck that just suddenly hits its target and just blows into a little ball of lights.
Yeah, so the first two just coming through, they get blasted. It's like fully affected. I mean, all the glowing dust motes are in their eyes, and their two companions drag them back, and they're fine. And they just sort of they quit.
Blinded by the light.
They quit their sortie into your encampment.
Fuckers.
All right. Well, that was exciting.
That was not what I expected.
Let's see what happens now.
Now we move the bookcase back into place.
Yeah, and then you finish your rest, and then I check to see if at the beginning of the morning there's another encounter, and there isn't.
Oh,
Okay.
well, and the good thing is you get that cantrip slot back.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Restore castings. What does that button do?
Should restore all your castings.
That's the magic button?
That's the magic button. Push it.
Yay! And it works like it's supposed to. That's good.
It should do the same thing for your abilities too.
Yeah. Yep, there we go. Whew. Okay. Oh. And our two, and Gideon and Ichabod, you guys heal your healing right?
Yep, I already did that.
Their health goes back to its original. Whatever had happened.
I get my 6 back because I was at 23.
Right.
So my healing rate's now 5, which puts me at 0 damage. I'm back at full.
Cool.
We played that well.
Yeah, that was a tough spot you guys found yourselves in.
Yeah.
And on top of it, now we also have our base healing abilities back. So we have ways to patch ourselves up if we have to.
Right.
And I have emergency healing again.
Exactly.
Right. As you sort of go into the
We're hoping the last
back into
section.
the black.
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
Beat the Trojans. I would like to head back to this area, and I would like to take a look through the jail cells just in case.
Okay, sure.
And there was
one thing that does happen though is 808's lantern goes out.
Yeah,
right.
You do return the spare parts to him because he's sort of standing his silent watch here in the corner of the mosaic chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to move you back down towards the den of debauchery.
Thank you.
Checking the cells, they're all empty.
Excellent. Much better than creature weird things.
But you can tell that they weren't.
Yeah.
At one time or another. I'll leave those remnants of humanity to your own
Imagination.
You. And that's on both sides, I assume.
It is.
Okay. I didn't want to, fall for the technicality. Oh, you didn't say you checked the other side, and that's where the holy sword was. Okay. So I think we should proceed down this hallway.
Okay.
With caution.
Right. Well, we don't have 808's lantern anymore, but we do have Morgan, which, let's be honest, is even better.
Sometimes. Sometimes she explodes.
Yeah, we're going to avoid that happening again.
Hey, if you can get me to a high level, I can actually use my strain as a weapon.
All right, so you're moving down the hallway here to the south. It extends out before you. The light from your lantern or your torches sort of illuminates an area about you, but you know it's dark down here.
Yeah.
So you'll have to move the token, I think, is what I'm
Yes.
Okay, and it opens up into a chamber here south of you, where you can see a door on the western wall. But this room has porcelain tile, but it's like a brown porcelain tile. It lines the floors and like halfway up the walls, and you can see each of these is a brown porcelain bath. And there's and they're all empty and dry, but one of them has a big hole smashed in the bottom, and you can see a tunnel sort of running, a small, narrow tunnel running off there to the east.
Oh, cool.
A perfectly Morgan-sized hole, I bet.
Well, I think any of us can get through, but one at a time.
Uh-huh.
And as as you walk in here and you look in that one
Bathtub.
4 guys sit up out of the bath to the south, and it's those 4 guild members. And they've all got crossbows and they're pointing them at you. They say, "This is our place. You wouldn't let us sleep in the library. You can't come through here." See what happens.
I think Morgan blows their heads off.
I think we slowly back away.
Well, I'm concerned if there's a tunnel going down, and the guy said that we need to go underground. That seems to be maybe where we need to go,
I think we do, but we have to take these guys out.
Yeah.
or at least allow them to leave.
And
No, we have to take them out.
the crossbows get drawn back, and they're like taking dead aim at you. They're going fast. Well, you guys can go fast, or you can also, seize the initiative from them, or you can go slow and take your 2 actions, or go fast and take your 1. They're going to be the skull just for amusement's sake.
Well, you go fast, you can cast, right?
Well, yeah. I'm thinking if there's a way to go fast and like get them to just stop and not launch all their crossbows at us simultaneously. Well, like do like a intimidation roll or something.
Well, I say you do that casting again. That was awfully handy.
I mean, it worked because they were in a narrow choke point. They're kind of spread out here, right?
Okay, I need to know what your.
I'm going fast.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going fast because I'm at least ducking behind my shield, if nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah, so and I'll go first. Fast.
Did you say they're all in one tub to the south, or like
each of them are like in a tub, like they were sleeping in there?
Okay, then what I did last time isn't going to work quite as nicely.
Oh well.
So you guys can use your initiative and back off down the hall, or you can engage them, or you can do something else.
I mean, I think backing off isn't a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I'm happy
there are other places we can explore in here until they maybe get up and move out of the room.
Until they have their breakfast, we can try, but I think that's where we need to go.
It could be, but I think we're better off not walking into 4 loaded crossbows. If anything, if we come back, we can catch them with the element of surprise and attack them before we get hit by 4 crossbows.
Right. All right.
That's my thinking. Because I'm squishy.
So yeah, let's back up.
Okay, and you're back in the room with the pillars, and there's a door to the south and a door to the west.
Which one do you guys want to do? Those guys went through the door to the south. I'm sure they've explored around.
South isn't a bad idea.
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, they clearly went south and survived. Now they may have
that
been
door. Okay,
running.
south. Where's my key?
Oh,
Deleted.
takes one look and walks around or walks the other way.
Yeah, so all around this whole room is filled of these like grotesque statues, monstrous demonic forms, clawing, climbing, biting, slithering, but they're all statuary.
Morgan's going to use her magic sense.
Okay. Is it a casting that you need to take off?
Yep.
You don't detect any magic.
Okay.
Walking all about this room.
All right. Taking some precautions here.
No, it's
Good
smart.
idea.
They're all different statues. They're facing all the same direction or different directions.
It's kind of a random hot scattering and hodgepodge. There's no
Okay.
order or rhyme or reason to how these
Okay.
things are arranged.
Not to sound like a metagamer, but
Mhm.
I think a player who lives in a world of magic creatures and might know what a basilisk or a gorgon is, do they look like they're on plinths, or do they look like somebody was standing here and suddenly turned to stone?
Oh.
Because I've dealt with I mean, there's stone magic. There's all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah, they are on plinths, most of them. I mean, some of them are on, carved out of the stone itself, like a big rock, and then there's a carving in the rock.
Right, but they're clearly carvings. They are not people turned to stone where they stand.
They don't appear to be creatures that were somehow frozen in place.
Okay.
I mean, they're not giving off any residual magic, so
It's a good sign.
yeah.
So you
It certainly
said-
doesn't get us out of the woods, but it's closer.
And you want to move, looks like you want to move east now.
Yeah, it looks like we have a door there. Yeah.
I think we found our hole.
A hole.
So here's there's a big pit here that fills pretty much this circular chamber, and
And exits in the cardinal points.
exits in the cardinal points, and there's sort of like a low wall that goes up around the edge of this thing, and you can see just blackness, inky blackness down the pit.
Yeah, let's not go there.
No, but I think that is the direction we have to go.
No, I think we need to go into that hole in the bathtub.
Which what are you guys cluing in about that? I missed the rationale behind that without going down.
About just because Rodolfo had said it's there, it's beneath the earth. The source is down beneath the earth.
Oh, right.
Or something
And
to that effect.
That's what he was talking about when you had rescued him out of the cellar.
Right.
And you were up in the in the ruins, kind of debating what your next plan of action was.
Right. And we decided we needed to continue whatever it was he was going to try to do. And if we really felt this was the chance of ending the plague, we had to go make it happen.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I think for mapping's sake, going north isn't a bad idea, and then going south.
I agree, because we know those guys are sleeping there. And by the way, I'm carrying one of those books with me just so I can toss it and use it as a distraction.
Oh, okay. You just write it down on your character sheet.
Yeah, just an old book. Just
Oh,
something.
Just a worthless old book.
I should write
yeah.
the scrolls or the incantations that I grabbed.
Yeah, do write those down. Mine is just something. Mine's just something I can light on fire and distract someone, or scare them or whatever.
Okay.
I also have oil flasks, so that's something I need to keep in mind, because I could actually start figuring out ways to make grenades.
Oh, it's an excellent idea.
Okay.
I mean, just running into things that do 15 points of damage with a kick. We need to start dishing it out, is all I'm saying.
All right. So,
That left a mark. Let's just put it that way.
right. Let's see.
Morgan healed you, but you still have the scar.
I didn't move it.
Damn
Who
straight.
took it?
Big footprints.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you wonder who started the legend of Bigfoot.
That guy.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, a few things that you
Uh-oh.
see when you enter this room. The first is that the walls are completely draped with tapestries all around the room, and
They're not pleasant, are they?
they're not.
They never
They're
are.
humans and demons engaged in bizarre acts.
Oh,
And at the center of the floor lies the shattered remains of a large stone. And lying about the room are four of those guild members, and they kind of crawl their way up. And you can see that they're dead, but they were kind of lying all around the stone, the shattered stone in the center of the room, and that you guys are just at the edge of the entrance there.
I think this is where the ritual took place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is obviously the other guys are looking for him, so, these guys, so we should just lead them off to to their friends.
Well, actually, I was thinking maybe we can get them to draw them south and then open that door. You know what I'm saying? Head them south and open that door to the east so that they go on where their friends are.
Mm-hmm.
Work.
Can we do that?
Sorry, what
I
was the
guess it
plan?
depends on how fast they move.
I would like to personally, my thought is let's try to draw them south and get them to this door, and we can open the door and have them go in there with their friends.
Okay.
I figure I can just shield block them. I can stand right here with the shield and the door, and the only place they can go is that way. Is my thought.
Okay. All right. So,
But if there's zombies moving slow, we can keep in front of them fairly easily. But
sure.
if we have to fight them, we'll fight them. But I'm just thinking, let's
No,
try and.
they do move. They do move pretty slow, and yeah. So Ichabod is down there being the sort of the wall with his shield. And what are the rest of you doing?
Just being prepared to attack them if they come after us, and
Okay. Who's the Pied Piper? Who's the
Well, I'm
zombie
happy to
Piper?
be the Pied Piper and then
I
stop
see.
with my shield blocking that spot, and someone else can be handling the door and everything.
Okay. So it's a little bit of a traffic jam there, right? I think that you using your shield, you can probably keep them off you, especially if there's something more fresh and interesting ahead of them, and then getting the door open. So it would be sort of like an agility check to get by them once the door was open, and lead them into that area.
Or
Or I
maybe
guess
push.
you could figure it another way.
Well, if
I
we
don't
can't,
want to create your plan for you.
well, my thought is that if we get to where I have the team set up, as I'm backing, like, come on, guys, almost there. As I'm doing that, Morgan or someone's opening the door. We're stepping
behind
here.
you. Got you. Okay.
Right, opening the door, and then either they're going to go through the door because I got the shield kind of blocking us, or if they don't, then I don't want to say shield rush, but use the shield to push them that direction so that they sort of do the path of least resistances to avoid us and to go after their friends. Plus, maybe their friends will fill them with crossbows, and then we can take everybody out.
Okay, sure. So
Okay.
it would just be a strength check then, a strength challenge to get them to move them through the door. And
Excellent.
You'd need to do, just a strength challenge. That'd be fine. Meow. What's wrong? Where are you?
You talking to us, to the cat?
Where are you?
Both. Hey, not bad.
I make it.
There it is.
Oh, you passed. All right. Okay, so yeah, you do get them through there, and you hear like a sort of a commotion, like, "Hey, hey guys, what? Wait, what? Ah,
We're gonna close the door
It's like-
behind him. By the
It's
way,
like it's a fight in there.
And then we're gonna go back to the North Room and investigate what's actually going on.
oh my god, that was such a great dick move. I like avoiding combat. I would like to get a second look at this northern room. I agree with Ethan.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is the shattered remains of a large stone. It's sort of bluish in color, and what will you do?
I'm thinking that I use my magic sense to see if it's still radiating magic.
It's radiating a shit ton of magic.
Okay.
Is there any writing? Does the stone appear to have been carved? I mean, was there writing in it, or was it just like a raw rock, or was it something like a plinth?
It was like you're looking at it, you can see it was like almost like a sphere.
Okay.
Stone sphere that's been shattered.
Okay. And there's no writing on the hangings or anything around the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm assuming that since you know I can read languages with my cantrip.
you guys
No,
just-
that's Opie. I'm sorry. Opie can read any language, isn't it? That's not me.
Yeah. Are you going into the room? I mean, this is what you see when you're kind of looking at.
Right. Because we haven't moved all the way in there yet.
Yeah, and I just need to know how you're going to approach the stone. I'll tell you right now, it looks fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I think we should leave it alone. I don't think it's what we can mess with. But
Well, yeah, except this is probably the cause of the problem.
Exactly.
Right.
We need to figure out some way to deal with it.
I think we need to look around elsewhere, and if we
guys will-
don't find anything else that's obvious, then yes, I think we need to
Yeah.
take the
Okay.
pieces and dump them down the well.
That's actually a good idea, yeah, if we can get in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Okay. Hold on, I'll be right back with you.
Yeah, so I say we explore to the south, and that should give the
Yeah.
zombies and the guildsmen enough time to have killed each other.
Or have a whole lot of zombies.
I think this thing made the zombies. I think the magic. I think the guildsmen
think
came in here
I do. Well, I think what's going on is that this stone is actually permeating some sort of almost a permanent necromantic.
I
wait.
see. Like a
And
field,
so-
field of necromancy. Yeah.
And so everything that dies, like every hour or so, there's another wave, and it brings everything that was dead back to life or something.
Maybe. I don't want to get closer because I have a feeling it'll make us dead.
Could be.
That's also a distinct possibility. That's why I was looking at my spells, see if there was anything I had that could hold it at bay, move it. And there's really not. I mean, I can armor myself, but that seems to be more of a physical thing.
Right. Well, it might help a little against radiation, but I think that's how you want to think of this as radiation. I keep thinking of Chernobyl and those firemen, but I really, I get a feeling that there's some more information that might help us. We know there's a little more to explore. We know there's a hole here.
And I have 2 incantations, and we have no clue what the incantations are at this point.
Good point.
All right, I haven't rolled them yet. I mean, I know what school they're from.
Right.
Primal
Just in that-
and
Primal.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking because,
maybe why don't I generate them, because maybe that'll inform what. you're
right,
going
exactly.
to
That's what we're
Oh.
thinking.
Good idea.
Let's see. I guess it's alphabetical.
Yeah, but I'm not picking up that rock with my hands. If I have to pick up rocks, I think we're going to use some of the boards from the library's bookshelves,
And just start poking them.
like big shovels. Yeah, just.
Yep.
But I don't think that's what's going to do it. I think there's something else we need to do. I think there's something else that this was a ritual in here that this thing was set off. I think there's something else, like an on-off switch we need to deal with.
Right. I mean, Morgan's professions were folklore, nature, magic, and astrology. So she should have some idea of what's going on here. Or potentially some way to deal with it.
The first scroll is from the primal school. The primal, what do we call it? Primal.
It's primal.
What are, I mean, what are they?
Tradition.
Tradition.
And
Tradition.
And the spell is call small animal. And the
That
second
could
one
be a lot of useful.
is from Thurgy.
Ooh, that's me.
Yep.
And it is another D3. Blessing.
And Morgan gives our good friend Gideon the Theurgy incantation.
So I don't know how incantations work, but I already have that spell. So would this be allow someone else to cast a spell?
It would, or you could just invoke anybody
Without using one of your the kids that you don't use
Right.
one of your slots.
Right.
Okay.
And you might get boons because it's of your tradition and a spell you already have. Who knows? I don't know.
True.
It's cool.
I'm just spitballing.
Sure. Okay, well, I think we're at a good stopping point for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you stepped away, we were.
Oh, the
We
other
have
thing
we have a
that you
plan
see-
B.
Sorry, the other thing that I missed explaining about what was in this room here by that broken stone is you can see a box. It's about the size of a basketball box, like what you see in the toy store,
Mhm.
that kind of box shape. And it's like a heavy metal box, and it's kind of tipped over on its side. And that thing is also radiating magic to Willow.
The Acolytes were transporting the magical artifact of eternal necromancy. They dropped it, and it shattered, and it released all its necromantic energies in the area.
So I think these 4 guild members are a different team that came down. I'm wondering if that box is what they're looking for.
I think so. I think probably they're all members of the same cult, and it's just those 4 were sent to retrieve the artifact or figure out what happened when the artifact that was supposed to make it to them didn't make it to them.
Interesting. That's an interesting idea. I think you could be right. I hope we don't have to go deal with it because I just have this Chernobyl fireman vision in my mind.
Yeah. Well,
And I want to go down the hole in the bathtub. You don't
Well,
put
the other thing I'll tell you is that Morgan can tell that this is the source of the plague of the pest.
okay.
All right.
Which is
It's clearly diseased and dangerous.
I figured I could probably be able to tell that. So that's good to know.
I'm sorry. Which is the source? The rock or the box?
The broken stone. Yeah.
Okay.
Damnation.
I am going to guess if we could get the pieces of the stone into the box and close the lid on the box, it could probably contain the energy.
Is that of a size?
Yeah, that looks like. I mean, your sense and your perception of the magics. That's what it looks like. That there's like sort of this deadening effect of the magic around the exterior of the box where the stone.
And the pieces of the stone put together would roughly fit inside the space of the box.
Yeah.
Because you said we had a concept that it was about a sphere, so that would give us an idea of what size sphere.
Right.
So we
Right.
can tell that sphere might have fit in this box.
Right.
Excellent.
Well, I guess technically speaking, with the summon small animal incantation, I could summon a small animal which lasts for an hour and potentially have it take the pieces and put them in the box.
Okay, you want to do that?
I was just throwing it out to the group as something that we could do.
I mean, I think it would be a nice solve. You take a corruption for it.
Because we're using corrupting an animal, or because he's what?
Because you're sacrificing a servant.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense. Magic or otherwise, we're still sacrificing the
Exactly.
life of a creature. Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's then let's see who's left over after the zombie fight and see if we can convince them to do it. Because they're definitely not our servants.
Okay, you want to go try to talk to those guys?
Well,
Well,
that's
it's
an
kinda-
idea
yeah.
for next week.
Yeah. These are all spitballing.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was trying to find
Yeah.
a way to. I was trying to find a way for us to wrap up and move to.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that too.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
If that's the case, then I say summon the animal and try to get all the pieces in there.
yeah.
What's the effect of corruption? It gives you
You just start to be a badder, blacker person. I can't remember. I can't.
that sounds perfect for Morgan.
Well, I thought it's more like you get a little harder and a little harder, and it gets a little easier to make the questionable choices.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's that slippery slope thing. You're getting a little corruption. Next thing you know, you got 6 corruption, and you're stabbing somebody in the throat.
And bad stuff starts to happen to you.
Right.
In terms of how the world reacts to you. You know, because you become a little closer to the shadow, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a chart that sort of dictates that, but you know, I think you guys have not taken much corruption. Maybe
I think I have 1 or 2 on me. I know I have 1 from using that knife.
I think it starts to become a problem when you have like 3+, and then it starts to become a pretty big problem when you have 4 to 7, and then it becomes deadly when you have 9.
So
I've got 2 right now.
So even if I take corruption now, if she continues to survive, sometime over the course, if she is a repentant mortal, she can potentially raise some of her corruption by committing her life to good works, making amends for past misdeeds, and conducting herself selflessly, charity.
Let's see if we get there.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But I think, if we're trying to resolve it, I think the summoning the animal is probably a good solution.
Okay.
Yeah, because my thought of going in and doing something, I have a feeling that Morgan would go, no, that's going to kill you. You don't want to do that. You're going to end up like one of the zombies.
It's a matter of, do we sacrifice a party member or a creature and then pay for the fact that we sacrificed a creature instead of a person?
Yeah, I'd rather sacrifice a creature, nothing personal creature.
Okay. So you can summon a climber, flyer, poisonous, or swimmer, an animal with one of those types of traits. Which ones do you want to summon? And you can compel
not a swimmer.
You can compel it for
an hour, I think. Right?
For an hour.
We'll go with.
I think climber's good.
I'd say climber or flyer.
Flyer
you choose what kind of animal fits into one of those traits, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking like a monkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because it's got hands and it can do things, and then and say close the box.
And flyers are usually relatively lightweight and may not have the strength to pick up rocks.
That was another thing I was thinking about.
Or the dexterity to pick up the smaller pieces, whereas a lemur or a monkey certainly will.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and try and bring a monkey or a small lemur of some kind in, and once he's, I'll have him put the pieces in the box and close the lid on the box. And then once he's done that, if he passes away at that point, then I will carry his body outside with me to be buried, and give him proper rights.
Sure.
As an animal.
Okay, so you send the monkey in to pick up the rocks and put it in the box, and the first thing that happens is it sort of collapses, it hacks and it coughs and it starts crawling and trying to do its job, and then it's starts vomiting, and then it finally finishes its job and closes the lid and it expires, and a few moments after it expires, it gets up and it looks at you guys and it's like, yeah.
It's a zombie.
And we'll just fade to black right there.
I say, and then I would blast it with a beam of sunlight and evaporate it back into
Sure.
Send it back to its happy place now that it's officially dead.
Yeah.
So take your point of corruption for
Yep.
sacrificing the servant, and
I'm
hits or
sorry, but what a
misses.
great solution.
So let's see, you guys. I'd say you take the box up and out of the cellar and back into the city. Is there any ways that you want to approach that? We're not going to have any more counters or do any stuff, but it's just pure narration at this point.
I think we try to backtrack and stick to stealth to try to avoid things and go back through the sewer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in order to get past the shadows, Morgan will use her light spell, but as soon as we get out of the cellar, she'll deactivate the light spell so we can try and go undetected.
Okay.
I'm really bummed we didn't find out what was in the hole in the bathtub, but this is better. This is better.
I think it might be a good idea to keep this box someplace secret, probably. I don't know that we want anyone of, potential disrepute having knowledge of its whereabouts.
Well, you do know that the temple of the old god had sent their champion here to recover it.
Right, that's what
Okay.
Rodolfo was.
Actually, that'd be a good person to return it to then.
Okay.
And because if they didn't come out with Rodolfo's body, if they didn't make it all the way back, then we want to tell them that he died a hero and he died trying to complete his task, and we finished it in his name.
Right. Yeah. Actually, as we're leaving the cellar and heading back to the sewers, we'll see if we encounter the guards and Rodolfo's body, or if
you don't. They didn't fall.
Okay.
Okay, good.
You don't know which way they went down the hill.
But we don't see their dead bodies.
Right.
Okay. Good.
And all right. Oh, cool. That was a good, challenging session.
It was.
And it was.
I would still like to get these things down to being one session each, because they're not very big adventures, but there's so much kind of stuff to dig into and sort of levers to pull, and then the combats can just chew up time.
Holes to stick our hands into.
Holes to put your hands in.
No, this was a hole to crawl into. That was bigger.
Did this one have a guillotine that just sliced your body in half?
No, that one only would fit Morgan.
See, that's what I was afraid of.
Okay. So the city elder's solution to the plague, even though the council has made a decision just to fire the that northern portion of the city, just to burn it. There's loss and loved ones that have been that were trapped behind the barricades, suffering the effects of the plague, and it was better to just scorch the earth than to try to go in and clean it out and rebuild it.
But at least it's not spreading anymore.
It's not spreading anymore, and the threat has been contained, I guess you could say, under the watchful eye of the old god temple.
And by the way, we tell Mr. Gates about the other teams that were in there, and while I don't know their names, I do recognize a couple of them, having worked with Opie, and so somebody's going to know who these guys were.
Yeah, and Opie and Will show up a few days later. They've returning from the shrine, and they've got those weird crystals that we talked about.
6 of them. Yeah, it's 2 for each player.
2 for each player. Yeah.
Though I don't really need to. I think I'll give at least one of them to Morgan because I don't have many spells.
Right. And we'll worry about that at the next session. I think that's a little too much mechanical stuff to deal with tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But how about hits or misses? Why don't we start with Nils, since you've been the quietest?
Well, just that it was a pretty close fight. We got down to very last bit and used up just about everything we could. So that was a very good challenge to get through. So that was a hit. And I agree that it's kind of, there's kind of a dichotomy. In some ways, I feel like the adventures are going so fast, partially because, and we don't have a chance, especially because we're switching adventures or player characters each time. We don't have a chance to get to know our characters and our skills. And therefore, it's kind of, a little bit, I think that might be one reason why it's kind of adding to our fumbling when we're doing combat, trying to remember what we have and all that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I do like the idea of being able to go through the whole thing relatively quickly. So I don't know, I don't see a solution to do one way or the other, but it's just something I'm noting that it's, kind of
it's just an observation.
Right.
It's not,
I don't feel like you guys are fumbling through the combats at all. I think that combat just takes a while.
I think we're getting more competent in the game too.
Oh yeah. My only observation about that would be to know your characters, right, and to program up your character sheets with all of that detail, so you can let the machine do some of the lifting for you, whether it's notes or details, in like a traditional pen and paper kind of character sheet, or leveraging some of the macros stuff. That would be my only. But I'm not in your shoes, right? I'm not. I don't have two characters to juggle. If you want to carry forward the same character session over session, you certainly could. That was just a limitation for Will and Opie, because they went and did something else, so they wouldn't.
Right.
At the
They
beginning
couldn't
of
be
the
in
next
two
session,
places.
they couldn't be. They couldn't be two places at the same time, and it was just like the choice that I gave the guys about how they wanted to tackle that session when we were just two. So if you wanted to play a single character, session over session, you certainly could do so, especially if you feel like, oh, I'm getting more attached to this one. But then you also have that in that stable, the opportunity to fall back to another player character when, we're short of it or something. Cool. How about for Ethan, hits or misses?
I think my hit was just being able to use the randomly rolled up incantation to solve the problem.
Right.
Obviously, we hadn't finished exploring everything, but at the point we're at, I wasn't sure of a really good way to actually deal with that. So I was thankful that, and I thought it was really cool that we were able to get that opportunity to use the incantation to solve the problem.
Yeah, that was a neat kind of emergent play kind of.
Yeah, and I thought it fit really well with just Morgan having a close attachment to nature and finding that primal spell. So
yeah,
even though it cost a creature of nature its life, I'm sure there's ways to repent down in the future. So, which is the story of her life.
All of our lives.
How about for you, Ichabod? Or Peter, how about for you?
Well, it's funny things you apologize for, like taking time to fix things. That's actually that's one of the pros, one of the pluses is we're really getting to know these character sheets and how to use the tools of Roll20 a lot better. And I feel a lot more confident in the whole thing, which is I think why I felt more confident just really getting into the flavor and not just rolling dice, but I'm recovering, I'm rolling, whatever. I'm adding all that other flavor that doesn't add anything, like setting traps using flammable objects.
Sure.
But I feel comfortable enough with the character. And like you said, know your character. I'm like, well, I got that cantrip. I could always use that. It's a good, yeah. So I feel the pro is that in addition to having all three of us players here tonight was nice. I just feel really more comfortable with the system and my character. Having said that, I have no idea where I find the stuff for ancestral.
It's
Oh.
under human way back at the beginning of the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh
at
yeah,
level
way
4,
back.
At level 4, I think you guys just get your racial.
Yeah, your ancestry.
So as
But
humans,
with-
we either get the determined skill or we get another spell.
Right, and I've been giving that a lot of thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
Oh,
determined.
you
It's a nice skill.
Humans also get +5 health.
Oh, yeah. There's that minor little thing.
Oh, that's nice. But I think I'm going to take a spell for each of my guys. As much as getting a 1 die and from a boon, you can re-roll it.
Or re-roll a boon.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good thing. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just
It's a little
saying.
mechanically fiddly though too.
Right,
like,
and a
oh shit, I
spell
have to remember to roll this thing, but having a spell would be cool.
and spell just it adds to my.
I mean,
It fits the characters.
What's
So,
your power level?
well, I'm only a power level 1. So
you
it's
can
not like
choose
I'm gonna
You
get-
can choose a rank 1 spell basically,
Right. I think I'm gonna
or
take a
learn
cantrip.
another tradition and get a cantrip.
I think I might. Well, I know I'm gonna take a cantrip for Ichabod.
Are you going
'Cause
to
he
learn
had the-
another tradition?
Well, no, because he has 2 cantrips for fire spells or
But
for
you can
fire.
also get a rank 1 spell, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm saying, yeah. Good
A level
point.
1 spell.
That's a better idea.
yeah, well,
I mean, you
Will
could
doesn't
certainly
have a
choose a
choice.
cantrip if you'd rather have it, right? And then let's see, Nils is clockwork. For level 4 gets +5 health and can learn a spell or gain grind gears. With grind gears,
It
you
really
increase
grinds
the
my
number of
gears.
actions you can use on your turn by 1. When you finish your turn, roll a d6. On an odd number, you become an object at the end of the round.
Right.
And
Well, I'm thinking I'm probably going to take a spell because that was something that made me a little annoyed me when I took the artificer is I got to learn a tradition, but I didn't get a spell. So
Right.
it's like I've got this thing but can't use it.
oh, you didn't get a cantrip?
Well, it didn't say you learned a spell when you.
Well, I thought
took
when
the
you
artificer.
learned a tradition, you automatically get a cantrip.
You do.
You do. Okay.
That's a level 0.
Yep.
You
Okay.
choose one of. I mean, there could be one or there are usually 2 cantrips.
Yeah, there's
Usually
2 or 3.
level 0s.
Mhm.
And in the learning magic section of the rule book is it talks about what happens when you learn a new tradition, and basically you get 1 cantrip, and you chose artificer.
Well, Will doesn't have much of a choice. He's getting his determined skill because he ain't got no magic.
Oh, yeah. Well, if it says gain a spell, does that mean you could learn a tradition?
Mhm.
You can choose a
No.
tradition.
No, you have to.
You have to choose tradition.
You have to get a choice or choose tradition.
Oh, it's
Gotcha.
discover a new tradition or learn a spell.
That's it.
Yeah.
And your guys, and the racial one is just saying learn a spell, basically.
Right.
Right.
And I
Right.
was trying to find artificer so I could look at what Nils was looking at earlier.
Yeah.
That's,
I think I'm
That's
gonna take-
the school of technomancy.
I think Opie's going to take Rune Shield.
Hmm.
yeah,
'Cause it
you
can be used to
discover
help
a
myself or
tradition
someone
or
else.
learn 1 spell, right? And when discovering a tradition, you get one of the cantrips. So you should have whatever
Okay.
tradition 808s
Mhm.
chose, you can have a level 0 spell, and then you can also
Okay.
choose a rank 1. Well, what's your power for
That's the other thing. I don't know that he has any power.
He should.
From what?
You should have a power 1 at least if you have a.
Oh, I guess so. Okay. Yeah.
You have
Discover
a 10.
tradition.
If you have a 10,
Yeah.
I think you have power 1. Okay,
Right. Okay.
As being an artificer should give you at least +1 power.
power 1. And you do, and artificer does increase your health and your power by 1.
Oh, Fire Blast is nice.
Fire blast.
A cone 3 yards long originating from a point you can reach is the area. Flames rush out from your hand, dealing 3d6 damage to everything in the area.
Oh God.
The other one is Meteor. That's another level 1 attack. And that one is you hurl a fiery stone. When it reaches the target, or if it encounters a solid creature or object before then, it explodes. Flames spread through a 1-yard radius sphere centered on the target or on the point of the creature's or object's space, dealing 2d6 plus 2 damage to everything in the area.
Those spells are so much more powerful than anything I have access to. That's insane.
Fuck, I think I should take one of those. I think Fire Blast with a cone is a little more fun. I think, though throwing a rock is kind of boom.
This is my boomstick.
That's it,
guys. Well, great game tonight. Thanks for joining me a day early for OT.
Did you say your boon or bane?
Oh, my hits and misses, my boons and banes for tonight.
Boons and banes, yeah.
Gosh, there was so much good stuff tonight. I think mechanically, as the GM, doing more of my mechanic stuff in the background and not bothering you guys with that. That was I was trying to do that, and that seemed to be helpful. Gosh, and I hate to say it, but the kick. Just knocking Ichabod back through the ranks.
That was beautiful.
Was pretty awesome.
That was. Morgan, get behind me! Bam!
Okay, Uncle. Ow!
Maybe I'll stand beside you instead.
And then I'm glad that we finished this adventure. I think I may have rushed it a little bit there at the end, but I wanted to get on to the next thing.
Well, as the GM, you're in a space to go, well, there was a little more to explore, but they actually wouldn't have found anything that would have helped them in the long run, and they had it figured out.
Right.
Even though we didn't go down the hole. That's fine.
Nobody wants to go down the hole. I'll just tell you right now.
Excellent.
Only Morgan can fit.
Oh, then we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Or Ichabod if he strips off his armor.
Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
And greased himself up.
Yeah, that means there's a big purple worm on the other side ready to swallow you whole.
Would you like to put your body in this hole? I thought you learned. All right. Well, that was fun. I'm going to close the broadcast now.